Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Q and Kobe here. Um, it seems like it's over, which means since the beef ain't done. This beef will never be done. By the way, like this is the, Kendrick accused this man of unthinkable things, like, and they're sticking. Like the beef is never
Unforgivable
over.
things.
Like,
We'll never be friends with this man after this.
honestly, it wouldn't be good for either of them to ever be friends. Like it would look bad on Kendrick. Like at this point, like if you think these things about him, why would you ever be like, yeah, let's make up and get on a track together?
No,
Like,
no.
it's it was one of the most exciting weekends in sports. It was also another exciting weekend in a different sport. Hip hop is back. Okay, like, hey, shout out to Screw. He says hip hop is a sport. It might be true. Shout out to the reactors, out by the way. Like this wouldn't have been as fun. Like, I don't know who your favorite reactors are. We might have to give a shout out to our go-to reactors during this beef. But shout out to y'all, man. Y'all was working y'all ass off like all week. I know fighting them copyright claims was a mother. Ooh, whew. Woo! Shout out to Kendrick, by the way. Kendrick dropped he dropped all the clay again, just winning a battle Drake's not even seeing. Like it's what it is. It's what it is at this point. But yeah, man, shout out to Screw. Shout out to what's his name? Who else was I watching? Who else? Who did you watch?
Reactive?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Who's the
lie.
dude? Who's the dude that was stitching up all the reactions?
I don't know who stitched up all the reactions, but Axe reactions were hilarious. Every time Kendrick, and I'm sorry, they were funny. I'm sorry.
No, when Meet the Grams came out, dog, and Act went for like celebrating the victory that because like, look, man, I feel differently about Family Matters. We'll get into it than I think most people do, but I'm willing to acknowledge I haven't liked Drake for a couple years now. Like, I wasn't waiting on somebody to take him down, but once this happened, once Euphoria dropped, it was clear to me who I was going to root for, like to win this battle. So I am not going to sit here and act like I'm unbiased or anything like that. No, I wanted Kendrick to win, and I'm delighted that he did. But I will be honest, right? Like, there's a battle of like honesty. Like, I'm trying to be honest with how I feel because I could want somebody to win, but if that motherfucker cooked them, I can't lie about it, right? So I'll try to be as fair as possible to this. But we'll have that discussion when we have it and see where it goes. Maybe I'll be tripping and Kova talks some sense into me by then. Like, it's music. Like, that's the great thing about music. I have no reason to take any of this personal. Like me and Cole, we just talked about it yesterday about our
Mr.
feelings
Morale.
on Mr. Morale. Yeah, it's like I personally love Mr. Morale. Like I'm one of them people like, nah, that shit hits for me. For Cole, it don't do a goddamn thing for him apparently. Like
Hey, I'm
I'm
gonna put it out there. I'm gonna put it out there so everybody knows that album stinks. That album is not good. That's not a good album. It's not a
it
good
don't
album.
do a
I'm
thing
sorry.
for him. It
It's not a good album.
it does so much for me. Like I every time I like, it's one of my favorite projects of his. I've been revisiting all of them since like that drop, and I was like, nah, I like Mr. I like Mr. Morale. So I think I found out I overestimated how much I like Drake and underestimated how much I like Kendrick at the start of this because I thought Drake was gonna win because I was like, we're gonna take this with Drake. Well. Apparently there was a place. Like,
Oh man.
whew, whew.
Oh
But
man.
it's music, right? Like if Cole likes something, I don't like it. It ain't that deep. Like like
Look,
we
man,
can just
it
have
is what it
different
is.
tastes. Yeah.
It is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. It's
The
really
only
not.
thing that I will not and like I debated putting this in here is 7 minute drill, but we'll get to 7 minute drill when we get to 7 minute drill. We're gonna grade all of the diss tracks in this beef. I think like that counts because I think that verse from Kendrick is a diss. That is a direct diss. Now, it's not a diss track, but it did start it all. Like, and it wasn't subliminal. It was, go ahead.
I'm gonna disagree with you. If we count like that, first person shooter has to be a part of this. Because to me, technically, that's technically where it started. Because like that is a response to first person shooter.
I would say like that is more of a response to the process that made first person shooter than the actual content in first person shooter, right? Like, it seems that the feature request is what set him over the edge and decided that he's ready to go, right? The fact that Drake had the audacity to ask if Kendrick wants to be on this album. And like, I see all these like cut-ups of like the Drake Kendrick beef, and they're like, oh, Drake was trying to make nice with Kendrick and Kendrick was not taking. I'm like, nah, Kendrick knew that was some bullshit. Like, you showing up to my concert, like, you're not trying to be my friend. You posting old pictures of us when I was on your OVO tour. You keep reminding people that you took me on tour first. Like, we know. I think the heart of this is started with like Drake's one of them dudes who does nice things, but then like never let you forget that he did that nice thing one time.
Like, it gives me. You say fake?
I don't know if it's fake, but it's definitely
that's what fake
like
people do. That's what fake people do.
It's manipulative, right? Like, it's some bullshit, and it gives that energy. Now, I don't know if that's what happened, but like, I don't think this came out of nowhere. This is, you know, and then he responds the way he did to Control. We don't got to get into the 10-year history of this, but there was nobody taking a direct shot at, even Drake didn't even take no sub shots at Kendrick in that song, from what I'm aware of, right?
Now, he did take shots at him. I think it was either Scary Hours, the Scary Hours 2,
There's
or the Scary Hours 3. Yeah. He took like we found out afterwards, like all of that stuff is about Kendrick. So Drake,
we also found out the Heart Part 4 was about Drake. like
they've been wanting to do this for a really, really long time. Really long time. They've been wanting to do this.
I think Kendrick been wanting to do this. I think Drake, once it got done, was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to do what Cole did. And I can respect that. But I do not think Drake was begging for this to happen in the way that like Kendrick was like, finally.
He literally went on IG and said, hey, drop. You ain't got nothing. Come outside. You're not.
That is a very good point.
He begged for this. He begged for it. We
gonna get to Taylor Made. All right. So, are we agreeing we can start with Like That?
We can start with Like That.
All right. So, Like That. Let's give it a grade. Let's try to give it 3 grades. A grade is a diss. A grade is a song. Yeah. Right now, we just need to do diss and song, right? Like, what do you think it is as a diss? What do you think it is as a song? Let's do it on the whiteboard.
Are we doing it on the whiteboard? Okay, we do it on the whiteboard. Okay, hold on. Let me get this whiteboard. This fresh whiteboard that I just bought.
Oh, yeah, you gotta send me the receipt for that.
Hold on. Song. And as a diss.
Yeah.
All right. And we started with Like That.
Yeah, Like That. 3, 2, 1. Okay, you got A+ song, B A is a diss.
Yep.
I got A song and a B is a diss. Like That is a banger. Like That is a absolute slapper. It was number 1 during this whole time until but it was absolutely slapper. The verse in there is really good. The reason I gave it a B as a diss instead of an A as a diss is, remember how people were telling me 7-Minute Drill was a warning shot? Like, this was truly a warning shot. This was basically like, I'm worn up. Like, say something. I beg you. But it wasn't, I'm going at you yet, right? Like, he didn't hit on any of the things yet that he would go on to hit Drake for in his disses. Like, he really gave him nothing in this bar. When you look at the grand scheme of things that he would use to attack Drake, like Prince outlived Mike Jack is at that was apparently a throwaway diss like that he could have at him. That's why I gave it a B. Why did you give it an A plus there? Well, A plus and an A.
Okay, so I mean, I think song is pretty something.
Yeah.
Like it's
you don't gotta explain that.
You know, I don't really gotta explain that one. I ain't gotta explain that one like that.
No.
But I think underrated, man, for somebody who ain't really been super active for a minute.
Yeah.
You come out with that.
That's
You come out with that. Like that was, I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, that's what I needed.
I hope those sentiments symbolic.
The ad libs was
That's one thing we'll get to. I think what sets Kendrick apart from most people, because like his pen is really good. I'm not going to take anything away from his pen, but I think what makes him special is that he utilizes like every avenue to make a line hit. Like his delivery is so deliberate. Like,
he performs.
Yes.
Everything he does.
Yes.
He performs, and you can feel the energy in every single thing that he's doing, and I think that's part of what really makes him so great as an artist.
Yeah.
And even like the little things, it's just like the little ad libs.
Hey Drake, I hear you like I'm young.
Like how he changes the inflection of his voice depending on what he said. Like people make fun of him for doing the alien voices and all that stuff, and I get it, but he does it so well that you can't, like, you gotta respect it.
He's willing to make himself sound silly at times to push home the point of a line. And it's something that I don't think a lot of rappers, I don't think anybody other than Kendrick really, like in the mainstream, is willing to do on a consistent basis. And he's so good at it that it works more than it doesn't. And yeah, that's going to be a reoccurring theme in this one. But like that, the delivery and like that, it's just like Prince outlived Mike. Like the way he delivers that, he's like you can just hear the disdain.
You just be like, ooh.
Your best work is a light pack. Prince, bum, like in the alley. Like the delivery just is masterful on this. Now this is my okay, so we're gonna go push-ups here.
Ooh, push-ups. Ooh. Okay. All right.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we on the same page here. We on the same page. I honestly think that this is my favorite Drake contribution to this beef is push.
I disagree.
Me personally. I understand. I have fully accepted that I'm going to be in the minority on this because I tried all week to make sure I didn't come out here with this like minority ass opinion because I knew it would get roasted, but I couldn't get myself to like believe it. I think Push Ups is the best song that he dropped. And it's the best diss that he dropped too, in my opinion. Like this was like focused Drake. Like this was, I think the stuff that went and that was really catchy in this song, and this is what's key for me, were also disses, right? Like Metro, shut your hoe ass up and make some drums. How you high stepping with the size 7 men's on? Like, you know, like all them short jokes, it was juvenile, but it was catchy, right? Like all hit, right? You know, I think he aimed, he hit on every target that he wanted to shoot in this song. Now, he is not, and he's clearly not wanted to shoot at Future this whole time. And like, maybe it has to do with what Kendrick said in that third verse and not like us. Maybe it's even deeper than that. I don't know, but it seems clear that like he does not want Future to become a casualty in this, or does it want to engage Future for whatever reason? Because he keeps
I can address that one. I think in his mind, he feels like him and Future
can recover.
Go piece it up. I think in his mind, he even said it. He felt like it was more Metro that was causing the issue than Future actually was. In a couple years, I can see them reconciling and being cool. Maybe Future strikes me as somebody who's like extremely loyal to Metro though.
Yeah, so and Metro seems to like. And here's the thing, Metro don't like him for like Metro really don't like him.
He don't like him. He don't like him.
Like, and I don't think this is ever going to get fixed between Metro and Drake. So like, I think Future and Metro would have to have a falling out, and that doesn't seem like nothing that's going to happen anytime soon. Like, there seems to be something like here with Metro and Drake that's like deeper than the industry, because like BBL Drizzy, which will not be on this list, was a diabolical move. Like,
it should be.
Somebody said, "Yo, why Metro drop the end credits to this beat?"
Why we not talking about BBL? Why we not talking about BBL Drizzy? We gotta talk about BBL.
We gonna talk about it as a tactic at the end. We gonna talk about it as a tactic.
we gotta talk about it as a
dog. We got. Oh yeah, real quick. We're not gonna give it an official grade. Can we all agree the 7-minute drill was ass?
Yes, Matt.
Okay, cool.
We've been consistent with that though. We've been consistent.
We've said that since we started talking about this beef on this podcast. Now I know some people disagree with me, but that's one of the things where I'm like, I don't know how you could objectively look at this and think it's good.
It's bad. It's bad.
Nah.
It's bad.
And I wanted J. Cole to like, I was like, hey man, like maybe J. Cole gonna. I know people think higher of him now, and like even I do, like, okay, he stayed out of this. It was clearly a situation he didn't want anything to do with.
Yeah, man.
But I am not going to forget how bad.
People in the comments want us to.
We got to rate BBL Drizzy. All right, we got to rate BBL Drizzy. Okay,
we got to do it.
We gonna get the BBL Drizzy there. All right. Another quick hitter. I don't think we have to give it a grade because it's Rick Ross. And like we like Rick Ross. Early Rick Ross, before you ain't even know it, right? Like, but we not about to grade the Rick Ross this, like, solid contribution for Rick Ross on this one, right? Like, I think the floor was for Rick Ross, get that shit out of here, and it wasn't get that shit out of here. It was at least amusing for like a couple minutes.
I enjoyed it.
And also I would say this. He did bring up BBL Drizzy, and that is one of them shots that landed. It's kind of like a raw first draft version of Euphoria. It's like what if Kodak made Euphoria? Like it's what like, Rick Ross right there, champagne moments. Like it's a little bit unfiltered because it's basically the same things said a little bit less elegantly.
It's
and tactfully. Like,
all I'll say is this: it made me laugh, and I appreciate Rick Ross for giving us a track that was gonna make us laugh because we needed to laugh, and I appreciate it.
And it sounded like some.
I laughed throughout the entirety of this beef. I'm not gonna lie; this has been a very, very, very hilarious beef when you look at it in its entirety. It's been very fun, extremely fun, extremely fun.
Doc is on with no underwear. White.
Why, boy?
White. Yeah. That's it. Little did we know.
It was funny until it wasn't.
Yeah.
And then it
Tailor
got
made. Tailor made. That's the one thing about Kendrick. Kendrick never played those things for jokes like Rick Ross did, because clearly to Kendrick, how Drake be moving ain't fucking funny to him.
Oh man.
Tailor made. Now I'm gonna introduce a third grade for this one. Strategy. Okay.
Oh, we gotta talk about strategy now.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we're getting into the strategy section.
Hold on. Give me a second. Let me add that to the board. Oh man. Strategy. Cool. Tailor made was this is the AI one, right?
Yes.
Um, hmm.
I don't know if you went back and listened to it. I've went back and I've listened to all the songs in this beef like at least like 8 times just to make sure that I was ready for this.
Hmm. Strategy. Well, now that it's over, I kind of gotta change my grade. I kind of gotta change my grade now that it's over. All right.
Hey, at the time,
At the time.
there was a different argument that existed, boo.
All right.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
I was not a fan of this at all. Yeah, okay. All right, we're pretty similar. What's your strategy grade? I can't see it. It's the mic's blocking it. A C strategy.
See.
Okay, we disagree on strategy significantly. Um, I gave it a C as a song. It comes and
C
goes.
plus. C plus.
It comes and
It's all
goes
right.
to me. Yeah, it
It's all
comes and
right.
goes. As a diss, yeah. I get what he was trying to accomplish, right? Like you're using his idols to try to bait him into a response, and you're basically trying to you're trying to sun him, right? And this was a good use of sunning. I think that the reason it's not a higher than C plus diss is because not much in there makes you go, oh, after the fact, which leads
That
us into
last verse. That last verse was good. That was
the one that
actually
he
him.
actually rapped. Yeah,
That one was good.
that's why it's at least C plus. But the first, this is a F minus strategy to me because
I mean, yeah, now.
yeah, well, this we dissected it as its fact, right? If I were grading this, then I'd be like, okay, well, you got him to drop, right? This was a bad strategy. This was such a bad strategy in hindsight because it really just gave him ammunition. And then when you think about the things that Kendrick be talking about when it comes to Drake, some of the more culture related dialogues that he started on Drake, well, continued and amplified. And then you think about the fact that Drake used Snoop Dogg and Tupac's voice as a piece in a diss, and it just makes you go, ugh. Like it just, I mean, that's on top of like the fact that clearly disrespecting Pac, like the him having the ring and then doing the AI that clearly woke the demon up. No pun intended. Okay, in Kendrick. Like I I think this is where this beef, like hindsight being 2020, him dropping Taylor Made, put this beef in a place where it's like, okay, now Kendrick feel like he got to put 60 on you. Like now he's not gonna underestimate you. Now he wanna like it's like when the Cavs fans were chanting, "We want Boston." Like we need to not do that.
I mean, they knew
I respect the energy. I respect the
Yeah,
energy.
I like the energy. I like the energy
You
a
know what I
lot.
mean? Yeah, but probably shouldn't be doing anything to like if Donovan Mitchell came out here like, yeah, I think Boston's a light pack. We'd be like, uh-oh. like, why are you trying to energize them? Or like when people would talk shit to Bron, it's like,
Why?
well, yeah,
For what
this
reason?
wasn't smart. This was not smart. This was not smart in hindsight. And then begging him to drop, like, I think that's exactly what got him in the mood to drop like 14 songs.
And this is why I gave it a C, because in the moment it made sense. Because he
yes.
kept saying he don't have nothing, they ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? Come on, drop. Come outside. Come outside. What you gonna do? You wanted to do this. He literally said verbatim, "You following through?" And he said, "Bet, I'm following through."
Also used Tupac's voice to beg Kendrick to say something about these PDF file accusations and why? Why?
Yeah, he was like, yeah, yeah, let's talk about me drinking Pedialyte. Let's talk about that. And then in hindsight, you begged him to come outside when you clearly were not prepared for that.
You basically told him, "Hey man, I can't stop play action," and and then begged him to run play action. What are you doing?
Yeah,
What are you
in
doing?
hindsight, it's like you did all this, and then just for you to switch up at the end. I don't care how many songs you put out. I'm over it. I don't
Hey,
care. And it's like,
we
okay.
also got to talk about this is the second time Drake has begged for something and gotten exactly what he wanted and ended it complaining about the fact that he got what he wanted. Right? Like, come on, Push. Come at me, Push. Yeah, what you got, Push? I brought up Virginia Williams. Man, Push took it too far.
Another thing. Hey, stop bringing up these dudes' wives, bro. Stop bringing up their wives, man.
This is a point that I've made. Drake keeps going at people who are clearly about shit. Like, I don't know what the general opinion is of Pusha T is, but Pusha T, in the way that he's moved throughout his career, he's clearly about something, right? Like, you can stand for it, you can mess with Pusha T or not, but Pusha T clearly, like, is principled, right? He raps about one thing, he talks about one thing, he seems to be very principled. Kendrick Lamar is very principled in that same way, right? And when you like, I don't know, this goes back to like Drake growing up in community or not. Like Cole, like man, you know them motherfuckers when you see them, like there's like you would never think, hey, you know what I'm gonna go at with Kendrick or Push? Their wife. Like I'm gonna go attack their queen. Hey, no.
Like they biggest mistake he made in this beef so far to me, and honestly the Pusha one too. He went into it underestimating them. There's a level of arrogance when you the kind of artist that he is
Mm-hmm.
that you have to have. But when you're engaging with other rappers, he went into those exchanges underestimating what they were willing to do and how far they were willing to take it, and he ended up getting burned because he didn't think Kendrick would take it to the place where Kendrick was taking it, and when Kendrick took it there, he didn't stop taking it.
I
And
think he
Kendrick,
bought into like the ideal of Kendrick that exists on the internet where it's like, oh, he's a Pulitzer Prize winner and he's beyond this stuff. And, he went to therapy and shit. And Kendrick came out with Euphoria. We gonna grade that next. We gonna grade that next. And it was very obvious to me, he don't give a fuck about none of that shit, dog. like,
hey, hey, man. Now this is where it gets interesting because this is where the grades get interesting, and I'm interested to see where you gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? And we
I
see
might
the
have
super chats,
some.
y'all. We gonna get
We
there.
gonna
We
get
gonna
to
get
super
there. I
chats.
promise. I
Yeah.
promise. We gonna get to the Cavs too. Y'all. We
Oh
gonna talk
yeah.
about the Cavs. We got to walk back some stuff we said last time we was on here. So we gonna
Do
do
we
that.
know? Because like every time we do that, we get disappointed.
Yeah, maybe we need to just keep saying bad things about them so they keep winning.
We need to keep toning the war up. I ain't impressed. You beat the Magic.
So we gonna be honest first, and then we gonna say bad things about them so they can keep winning.
Yeah, yeah. We're not going to talk shit about Donovan Mitchell.
We kind of can't, to be honest. ain't too many bad things we can say at this point.
Hey man, we said it was on the line in Game 5, and he showed up in the fourth quarter, and then he showed up in the Game 6, and he showed up in Game 7. So I'm like, oh well, never mind, Donovan. You are a playoff killer. Like, you got it back. Like,
Somebody
shout to
said
Jayless.
hey, double A 12 Masters said we're here for the hip hop takes. We appreciate that.
We'll get to the cast, so y'all worry. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, yes. This is my favorite song of the beat. It's not the catchiest one, but it's my favorite song of the beef. 7 minutes, everything hits, everything cuts, and then you listen to it after the beef, and this is why it has an A strategy grade, and you're like, oh, he wrote this after he heard Family Matters. Like, oh, like somebody was like, he even got to the point, like he was like, all your tea is from Mr. Morale. And there is a point to that where it's like, oh yeah, Whitney left him. That's in Mother I, which again, if Drake would have listened to Mother I, just like 2 times, he would have came out a lot better in this bet, this beef.
He would have known this, bro.
He said, by the time you hear this, Whitney is gone in that song. Oh man, like I've never. We gonna get to that. But that was just a fantastic misstep. But this was just the way he slow plays it at the beginning, and then like the real like harder to dish starts when he's like, the first time I shot me a Drake, my homeboy told me to point it this way. I didn't aim it low enough.
He said, I didn't point down enough. I'm gonna show you I learned
from those mistakes. And I was like, damn, you talk about all the little sneak disses he had for Drake. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna aim at his head. And this had everything. This had the guttural, like the disses where you're like, God damn. Like with the hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, I hate the way that you say the word. What?
Hey, say I'm the biggest hater was so.
I'm the biggest hater.
Hey, it's so many little things in the song that was hard. Like
the delivery on the, I ain't even bleed him yet. Can I bleed him back? And then he gets into the, he's just poking him.
Hey,
when I see you next to Sexy Red, I believe you see two bad bitches. I believe you don't like women. You think it's competition. You might pop ass with them. Diabolical.
Again, want to make this point. Extremely funny diss tracks. The funny diss tracks we got.
B12, it's a fast one. Last one. Like you walk around like Daft Punk. Like,
oh man, headshot for the year. Oh man, what does he say? No, the funniest thing he said was like, I hate the way that you say the word. That's just me, I guess.
It ain't even deep. Like he admitted, like, ain't even that deep.
Some shit just cringe where they ain't even gotta be deep.
I guess.
Oh man.
How long he been waiting to get that off? Like when he was on tour with Drake and Drake said it, when was the first time Kendrick was like,
I don't feel right.
And then he talked to ASAP on that same tour. Brother, that feel right to you? Yeah, now that you say it.
we just here to get this money, man. We just here to get this money.
Hey, Whew. Yeah, Euphoria was just, I mean, that's fire. That was a sharply written diss. And it was catchy. And like, again, another diabolical part of it, the things that are catchy are disses. Like, the things that you are repeating are insults to Drake in so many different ways.
I'm not gonna lie. There were some things that were said in all of Kendrick's diss tracks. I'm not entirely sure people caught. I just want to throw it out there.
You talk about the 500. You ever spent have you ever section?
The have you ever section, there was some stuff in here I'm not sure if people caught. And also, he was alluding to some things that
that he kind of expanded on in 616. Oh no, he expanded on that in Meet the Grams.
He did. He pretty much said it in Meet the Grams. He's like alluded to it in the other songs, but if you go back and listen to Meet the Grams, he said it. He said it.
Yeah. But yeah, Euphoria, I mean, if you forgot, like that was a reminder. Like what Kendrick brings to the table as a songwriter, as a performer of his own lyrics. And as somebody who could put together a solid track. 3 beats, each one brought everything to the table. Yeah, might be my favorite song out this track. It's just so long, but it don't even feel long. Like, no. It don't even feel great. Long. Yeah, it's great. It's great. All right, 616 is next, right?
Yep. I'm gonna have to think about this one for a little bit.
Yeah, because I think we'll be on track with this.
Because it's less about the song. You know what I'm saying? It's less about the song.
That's why we brought up them categories.
Yeah, it's less about the song. What else we got?
All right, I'm ready to grade it.
Yeah, I am too. I got you. I'm ready to go.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you're a little bit higher on it as a diss than me. What's your strategy grade?
A++.
Oh. I gave it an A in strategy too. All right.
A++.
It's a good song. Like, if it was on Kendrick's album, I would fuck with it. As a diss, he's not really trying to cut that hard. It was an Instagram story song, right? So he's not really trying to cut there. He's just setting the table for what would happen later.
This was a strategic play. This was a strategic play. 100% is what it was. Strategic play. 100%. Yeah. The song, like the beat was this is the Alchemist one. No,
Alchemist one is Meet the Grabs. This is the Al Green sample, which sadly is not hit streaming platforms because I don't think they can clear it. But there are ways to hear it on Spotify.
Also, shout out to Al Green for immediately posting the original song on Twitter.
Oh yeah, good.
After this came out, and I was like, you know what, Al Green? I like that. Very savvy moves. Very savvy.
Also, we got to talk about some of the stuff that Kendrick has been doing production wise as kind of a needle there too, right? He's sampling Teddy Pendergrass in the first one. Also sampled The Wiz in the first one. Also, came back with some Al Green, and I know what he's saying. Like, you know what he's saying. We know why he's doing that. Like, I don't know what Drake does. Like, I would hope, but there's some, like, serious question. Not even trying to roast Drake. Do you think he's watched The Wiz? Because I don't think you think so.
He's compared himself to Michael Jackson too much to not watch The Wiz.
I don't think he has.
I hope he has. I hope he has.
Because, like, you could be a Michael Jackson fan, but there's a lot of Michael Jackson fans that don't know that The Wiz existed. Because that's like Motown, Afro, before his real single career started, Michael Jackson. It really was about Diana Ross being in the movie. Like,
when you think about it, it really was about Diana Ross being in the movie instead of him.
Yeah, well, Mike was popular because he was still Jackson 5 Mike, but like, it wasn't, he ain't made Thriller yet. Like, so like,
he still had Off the Wall. He still had Off the Wall.
Was, I think Rock With You had came out, but again, we love Rock With You. Like,
Off the Wall, low key, my favorite Mike albums.
That's not an uncommon opinion from my experience.
Two Americans for sure.
Yeah. When somebody told me Rock With You was a deep cut, I was in college. What? Yeah, I was in college.
A deep cut?
A deep cut. Also told me PYT was a deep cut, and I was like, "Oh, come on."
Okay, that's just egregious.
Come on,
that's just egregious.
That's just nuts.
That's
come on,
nuts.
Like, everybody listened to Mike by then.
Like, come on, how's that a deep cut? What? PYT? Yeah. We're not even gonna get into that.
Again, I was in college when that happened. But again, just subtle jabs and like, it's tough, man. It's tough.
He's setting the stage because he knew what was coming. He set the stage.
Like, all of this is building up to Not Like Us in hindsight. All of this, like, Like, Drake thought he was in a rap battle. He ended up in a thesis statement. Like, this is nuts. All
Hey,
right,
but we gotta talk about this
we gotta,
this we gotta talk about Family Matters though. We gotta
because
talk
I
about
think this is
Family
gonna be the
Matters. So
most interesting conversation we're gonna have about a singular song, in this one.
we gotta talk about Family Matters. Hey, and I want to let y'all know right now, I am here to tell the truth. That's
I'm telling my truth about this.
woo, you
I
telling the
just,
truth about
and
this
I'll
one.
explain why I feel the way I feel. And again, I'm open to changing my mind on it, but this is just how I feel about it.
We gonna tell the truth about this one.
Again, my grades ain't low for this one, but I think Cove's gonna hit us with the triple set. All right.
That's where you at. B plus for the song, B plus for the diss, A for strategy.
Hey, low key putting a visual behind it. Smart.
Hard,
Very smart. And there were
hard.
beautiful visuals. And like he had like Whitney's ring in there, Tupac's ring, Pharrell's chain, like all the shit that came
Was that confirmed? Was that confirmed? Whitney's ring?
It's either a recreation or the real thing. But either way, yeah, gotta give him points for doing that. Like, hey, even if it's fake, dog. Like, even if it's a lie, it's a good one.
Hold on. Now hold on. Here we go.
Really? Really? So we feel the exact opposite about this song. Like,
Hey man, like I said, I'm here. I am here to tell the truth. That shit is hard. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So since I have the outlier opinion, and I'm willing to admit I have the outlier opinion, I think the production at the first part of this song and the chorus, unbelievably tough, right? The drop a 50K for the mob spot, something. I was trying to keep it PG. Like, okay, but you're trying to keep PG after.
Shake that ass for Drake. Shake that ass for free. Shake that ass for free. I was like,
I thought that part was great. I thought that the last part, the production and especially Drake's delivery on that last part was on point. I just could not fuck with the middle of this song.
Oh no, that second verse was amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't fuck with it. This is just a different taste. I think this is just comes down to a difference of taste, or maybe I'm more of a Drake hater than I give myself credit for. But yeah, I thought there were like some good jabs in there. Like the ASAP one, I don't think a lot of people caught was you fucked my baby mama first, but who was I fucking? Like, good.
They caught that. They caught that.
Really nice stuff there, Drake. Great bar of all his Rick Ross bars hit. Like even in the last one he dropped, he still got a good Rick Ross bar in there. I can't score you that many points for landing on Rick Ross though. Like
I do because he said something.
Well, Rick Ross been talking shit. I get you.
He said something, so I counted. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Might be Drake might have had the best and the worst disses of this entire exchange.
Like individual bars.
I'm just saying, like in all aspects, this may have been the best. This may have been the best diss of all the songs. This probably the best he ever rapped. To me.
Oh yeah, the one bar about when if you hit Whitney, is it domestic violence because she's bigger than you?
Is it self-defense because she's bigger than you? I'm like, yo, he's good. He rapping. Like
that's good.
Even if you were Drake, objectively, he was rapping.
Yeah, he was rapping. I'm not gonna take that away from him. He was rapping. I think it would have benefited. And I get why he did it. Like, I understand the position he was in. And I get why he's doing it because he wants to make sure that we have this angle of him of being Thanos and like 20 people trying to come at him. So he decided to spread the diss out to like 4 or 5 different people. But the truth of the matter is, for me at least, by the time Family Matters came out, we didn't give a fuck about ASAP Rocky in this beef, or Rick Ross, or The Weeknd. Like you started
The
off this whole
weekend,
second section. Like, yeah,
the
they were
weekend
bars
bars
at
were
The
hard.
Weeknd. Yeah,
The weekend bars were hard. They were hard.
they were bars at The Weeknd. But like, all right, man, like it's cool. Like you roasted The Weeknd, but you could did that shit on Instagram story. Don't know that is a sideshow. Don't nobody give a fuck about Weeknd right now. Like we barely gave a fuck about Weeknd until he sung his diss in the second song.
Remember what I said about the arrogance and underestimating Kendrick? Is what
Yeah,
I'm talking about. He still felt like I can shoot and shoot, and I can shoot it down, and then I can go back and shoot the shoot. And it was
my man.
hard. It was hard, but I think that was a major miscalculation about what was going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was to me. I'm like, I think he doesn't understand the moment because even then in the song, he's like, all right, let me take this seriously. I'm like, oh, he about to go a dot. Like it's about to be nonstop dot slander for the rest of the song. And he starts with The Weeknd diss. I'm like, okay. Like again, I understand the angle he's going for. I understand what he's
Bars,
trying to push, and he did spit bars in there.
bars.
But I
But
think
you see,
I think
I didn't give it an A for strat. I did not give it an A for strategy.
I gave it an A for strategy because I'm like, man, I honestly think that if this were a little bit more focused, this could have survived Meet the Grams. Just a little bit more focused. Like, that's where I like, and maybe that's fucked up because like this is not supposed to be kind of compared to Meet the Grams, but like it's inevitable that we're gonna compare it to because it dropped 10 minutes after. But that's where I'm like, I think he could have survived the Meet the Grams drop if he was just a little bit more focused here with his pen on Kendrick and like took him just a bit more seriously. Because like all the visuals are pointed at Kendrick anyways. Like it seems like by the time he recorded that, he knew that he was gonna make this shit about Kendrick because it's Good Kid, Mad City truck. It's his wife's ring allegedly. It's Pac's ring. It's the Pharrell necklace that got Kendrick hot. All this where he said, "I inherit the beef."
Hey, can we talk about how Drake said,
Oh, wait.
I melt down the chains that I bought from your boss. I don't care about none of that heritage. I don't care about none of that heritage shit." And then he immediately pulled him out for the video.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I hate that we got to pick stuff apart now. Hate that we got to do
Yeah.
that.
Also, yo, the Rap It Like the Free the Slaves bar, which was funny when we first heard it. We all laughed.
Didn't age well.
Misstep.
Did not.
Gave him an opening that ended up being your ending. like
Did
it's gonna be hard for
not
people
age
you to get features for like at least like a year. Like ooh, that was
That one.
that was a
That one ain't age well. That one ain't age
yeah,
well.
yeah. Funny at the time. You know, there sometimes, and that this is my whole thing with some of the Drake disses. When we bring up the Kendrick stuff, it's like, damn, like the stuff from Euphoria still hits. Some of the Drake disses, I'm like, funny at the time, fucked up when we thought about it. Like,
We gonna get to that. We gonna
Yeah.
we gonna get to that.
So that's why I'm not as high on Family Matters. I still like. I think that I wish that he would drop like that first section is just like a regular song because I think the production and like the flow behind it is so good. I just don't think it hit as hard as it could have, and it could have really hit harder. All right, let's talk about Meet the Grams.
Yeah, we gotta now we getting into it. Now we getting into it. This is the Alchemist beat. Hey, this beat was hard, by the way. I was throwing it out there. This beat was hard. Ooh, this beat was hard. It was haunting. Haunting.
I don't know how to grade this one to be honest, because it's just.
Oh, we gotta try it. We gotta try it.
All right. Man.
I know exactly how I'm grading this one.
All right, ready?
Give me 1 second. Because I'm thinking about the song grade. Because that's where it gets kind of like I said. I gotta be honest.
Mm-hmm. It's a tough one to grade. It is a
Oh, one part of it isn't tough to grade at all.
yeah. One part of it,
One part of it is extremely easy grade. Extremely easy
yeah.
grade.
All right, you
Ready?
ready?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What's your strategy grade?
Oh, you don't see it?
Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't high enough. Yeah. All right.
A whole bunch of A pluses.
So let's talk about this song. As
Oof.
a song, first of all, diabolical choice of instrumental because the sample that starts that song off, you know what that made me feel like?
What did it make you feel like?
It felt like, okay, Drake celebrating with the crew. They about to go to the club to celebrate their victory. And Drake, like, he goes out to the car. He's like, oh, fuck, I forgot my keys. He walks back in and his house has been ransacked. And Kendrick is sitting in there with a dark lampshade and a gun pointed at him, telling him to sit down. Like, it's like, oh, you thought you won? We ain't even started yet. Sit down. I was like, it was like the perfect hit at the beginning of that to just sound like a sneak attack, to sound like an absolute it felt like some anime shit. Like, I ain't watched no much anime. I'm like, nah, that felt like some shit you would see on some anime. Like, oh, we won. We celebrate. We eating rice and shit at the campfire. Dun, 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 Dear Adonis. What?
Did you see the RDC world?
Yes.
The RDC world?
Perfect description.
Perfect. What happened? Perfect.
Did you see Drake drop? Expected it. You see, he talked about my family. I'm uploading. And look, a lot of what we like about Meet the Grams has nothing to do with what is actually said in that song. Well, some of what to do with what is said in that song. But it's everybody's reaction to that. Because everybody was on an emotional high. Because Family Matters hit for a lot of people. Hit for you. Hit for almost everybody except for me. Okay? Like, I'm a hater in that sense. But it was hitting for motherfuckers. And they was on a high, like, yeah, man, Drake dropped. Oh, we get a war. And then you find out Kendrick dropped.
Like, he didn't let that song breathe for 10 minutes. He didn't let that song breathe at all. And let me tell you something. That was the absolute best thing he could have done.
And like,
it was all over it. All over it.
And it was a smart strategy to fill that song with the most hateful shit that you could say about Drake. Just straight up, he said, you're going to drop this song and I'm just going to drop pure, unfiltered hatred. That was unfiltered, uncomfortable hatred that he dropped. Like, haunting. Terrifying. I was shaking. I was like, where did he get this picture from? What how does he have Drake's Ozempic like prescription? Like, do those bottles say Aubrey on them?
Listen, it was one of those things where it's one of them songs, and that's why I gave it a C+. It's like, yeah, it's not that it's a bad song. I'm literally never going to listen to this again after this moment. It was that, like,
I gave it a higher grade as a song because I do find myself going back to this, which again goes back to the fact that I just might be a bigger Drake hater than I think. Like, that I can revisit this song and be like, ooh, the production is so nice.
It's a good diss. It's a really, really good diss. Addressing his family members one by one.
Yeah, that was like some conceptual shit. Like,
I was like, oh, this is convoluted. This is
we all had the same reaction on Twitter where we were like, hey man, this shit ain't even fun no more, dog.
It got dark. It was like, oh, this where it get dark.
It's like, you ever see two people who don't like each other roast each other? You like, they might fight, but they ain't about to do nothing crazy. And then a motherfucker pull out a chainsaw. That's what this was. Like, hey, he's a psychopath. Like,
no, my whole reaction was like, oh, you hate him for real.
Mm-hmm.
This not a game. This not a joke. Like, you genuinely. He said, I want him to.
I think people like you should die
Hey,
twice. He said it twice
I
in that
was
song,
like,
by the way.
oh, this is
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, while having his father's personal belongings on the fucking cover of this song. like,
I'm
like,
like, oh, I was like, oh, it's like, but what impressed me the most was, he alluded to knowing what Drake was going to do, being in contact with the mole. Everybody around you is whispering you deserve it, which is great psychological warfare because Drake always talks about like the paranoia of not trusting those who are
yeah, he
around
has so
him.
many songs about no friends in the industry, no new friends. Like, they name a Drake album, there's a fucking song about how he don't trust his people.
Yeah, and that is like, oh, they're whispering that you deserve all of this.
Mm.
You're a horrible person.
You're
Any
you
bad thing
raised a
that happens
fucking
to you,
horrible person, Dennis. The nerve, you raised a fucking horrible person. The nerve of you, Dennis.
like every bad thing that's going to happen to you, I just want you to know that you deserve it. I'm like
It's
that is
it sounds like some super villain shit. It sounds like he had Drake tied up in a house and he's telling like he's giving him the evil monologue before he kills him. Like it's
man.
not, and it feels like he's offing his family members one by one before he shoots Drake, just so he can see them suffer. Like before he goes, like it's just like it's twisted. Like, hey, nobody's ever gonna fuck with Kendrick again after this. Like,
I also thought, and listen, I find the humor in everything. I do find that it was pretty funny. He's been calling Drake a white man this entire time,
and then he calls
and
Adonis
a black man.
because he's pushing home a point, right? Like he's pushing home a thesis.
Hey man, he
He's
said, listen, don't let no man piss on your legs, son.
ooh. Yeah, either he basically said either you crash out right there or you dead. like, which by the way, for those of you who don't notice, no, Drake did famously, and this is confirmed, get peed on by somebody in T.I.'s crew.
Also got slapped up by Diddy, but
Mm-hmm. Also, no coincidence that T.I.'s the one that pissed on his leg, and then he brought up Atlanta in the next song. But like, don't think that's a coincidence at all. But
we'll get there. We'll
we'll
get
get
there.
there. But yeah, it was a diabolical strategy. The song
That
itself,
the moment to me is much more impactful than the actual song.
this is definitely a moment that like in 20 years, people are like, I don't get it. It's not that good. It's like it wasn't really about the song itself. It was about now, it could age well. We don't know. But like, Drake could have this daughter. I don't think Drake has a daughter. I think I don't know where he got that from.
Can
But
we be honest? The daughter stuff is extremely minor in
yeah,
comparison to the rest of the song.
that's the thing too. I'm like, even if he has a daughter, I don't care. Like there are certain disses in this beef where I'm like, man, get back to rapping. like when they start getting on these angles. Like for me, I just don't care if Whitney is fucking day free. I could care less. Like, okay.
No, that's kind of important.
I don't care. Like, if they're together, he's fucking day free. She doing that, so that might be one of his kids. Like, there's messier shit that happens in hip hop. Like the domestic violence thing, I'm like, okay, now that's serious. Like, we got to see it, but this doesn't seem like anybody near Whitney is like, or her family is like corroborating that. So I don't know how seriously I could take it. But I'm not looking for these rap beasts to like cancel somebody, right? Like, oh, Kendrick got cucked. Oh, I can't listen to him no more. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, dog. You know what I mean? Like, tell me why you don't like this motherfucker. Like, that's what I want to hear. Like, you short, you sound goofy. Like the fact that Kendrick let this whole beef go by and didn't make fun of like how Kendrick sounds once. Like, and he gave him Pusha T.
Let me see you push a T.
Man, fuck Pusha T. I want to see you push a T.
The way, tell you, man, the way he says things is so hilarious to me.
Because he's dead serious when he does it.
He's not joking at all. I think that's what makes it even funny. Oh, and then what's next?
I'm
No,
whipping
no.
feet.
Ooh, the
Ooh,
next one. The next one.
man.
Man, not like us.
Not like us. Like if Meet the Grams made me never want to beef with nobody. Like this made me want to be very careful with who you pick your fights with.
Oh man. Oh man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I played this song probably 25 times as a game.
Or you was singing it when we got on for the live.
Oh man, I was like, it's stuck in my head, bro. Like
They
it's
not like
stuck in my.
us. They not like us. Once upon a time, we was all in chains. Homie, double down, silly.
Oh man, hey, look,
Oof.
man. I've said wop 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 so many times, bro. Oh man, it's
I
crazy.
can't listen to that song without dancing. Like
How can you?
it's
How can you?
infectious. It's infectious. Also, diabolical that Kendrick was like, I'm not gonna just drop a hit. I'm gonna drop a cookout anthem on Drake.
It
Ooh.
might chart. It might chart as the number one song
That shit gonna play at cookouts forever.
ever.
Like,
Oh
you're
man.
my friend. All right.
Steph,
My
that's right.
marker, my marker kind of
Steph.
died. I gave this A pluses across the board.
Oh yeah, you can tell it kind of died.
Yeah. A pluses across the board.
Yeah, we not.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah, we not gonna lie. We not gonna lie.
This
This was
killed him.
hard. Yeah, it killed him.
It was over. I don't know which bar killed him. I think the third verse. I don't know if it was over by the third verse, but if it wasn't, it was after the third verse. They're trying to strike a chord, but it's probably a minor. Also, like using that as a refrain to like reply to the Dave Free thing where he was like, Dave Free.
Ooh, man, let me tell you something. That first verse is the most fun diss of all.
It was insane.
Oh man. And dropping the beat out when he says A minor. I was like,
Nerd.
oh.
If
It's
that
like,
were done in a like if this battle was happening in an arena, the fans would have stormed the court after that. The game's fucking over. Like, oh, that was it. Wow.
easily the absolute best song to come out of this. Not even a question. Not even debatable. It's not even a question. Best song that came out of this. If
It's
we
gonna
just talking
be
song, it's the best song that came out of
it
this.
might be his highest sell like this might be his highest performing song of all time.
And
Commercially.
it's legitimately fun. Like legitimate, like not even outside of the disc. It's just fun. This is probably the best beat Mustard has made in years.
Oh, by the way, Mustard must hate him. Because he came out the woodwork after he mentioned YG. He was like, okay.
Yeah,
I'll
you
go.
said that you mentioned YG and then Mustard gives Kendrick a beat
Yeah.
to the best
And
song
it,
that we got and probably one of the most famous disses of all time now.
worst thing too is not only did you go out your way to shout out YG, Mustard dropped that beat and stood on it 10 toes that he dropped that beat. Like, cause we could have been like, oh, like the Alchemist, it's an old beat. He bought it in a pack a while ago. Like, this doesn't mean that he's endorsing him. Nah, he put his tag on that shit. And then Kendrick said, Mustard on the beat, ho.
Just so you know, since you're trying to shout out YG, can we also say
And
that
then he retweeted the link.
Can we also say that Drake said he get more love? He got more love in Kendrick City than he do.
Not true.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
That was a crazy lie when he said it.
But the
Like,
song proved it. Like the
yeah,
way it went up immediately, I was like, oh yeah,
yeah,
you can never say that again.
yeah.
Can't ever
Get
say
more
that
love in the
again.
city you do.
Woo, don't you ever tell that lie again.
Mm. Oh.
The whole I see videos coming out of everywhere.
Hey man, Kendrick
Coming
gonna
out
perform this
of
shit at the
everywhere.
Super Bowl one day.
No,
like,
they're not gonna let him do that.
they
They're
gonna
not gonna
heavily edit it. Like,
you can't edit. This is the thing though. This is why it charting is so
it's
crazy.
diabolical because like it's playing on TNT and there's no say like you can try to play it. They not like us. They you can't.
But we know you cannot divorce the diss from the song, and
Mm,
that's what makes it so great
mm,
because it's legitimately a phenomenal song. It's a hit
mm,
record. It is a
mm.
hit record.
And then he hits on the thesis statement to end the beef off with that third diss, with that third verse.
The Atlanta verse.
Mm, mm.
You
Ooh.
call you gotta call Future. Thug
You
made you
called Future
made
when
Thug
you
made
want
you
to hit the club. 21 when you wanted fake street cred. Oh what?
little baby helped you get your lingo up.
Oh yeah, little baby, helped you get your lingo up. 2 Chainz said you was good, but he lied. Like Quavo said, you could be from the north side. God damn, that was just nasty. Because I forgot Quavo said that.
He said Thug made you feel like you were slime in your head. I was
Yeah,
like, whoa.
him finding a way, because like north side Atlanta is very safe. I live in north side Atlanta, like you know. So like, he's just again just needling him. Yeah, you could be from north side in a way that I don't even think Drake comprehends. It's nasty, man. It's nasty. And it's like the untouchable part about this thing with Kendrick here is that the heart of his hatred with Drake and like the thesis statement of this whole beef is what Metro and Future said on the album. We don't trust you. Right? Like this is just, we don't trust you.
We still don't trust you.
We still don't trust you. And you not like us. By the way, this song got DJ Vlad out the paint.
Oh,
Hey,
salute to that.
yes. Hey, hey, shout out to Kev on stage because he saw that opportunity. Like, nah, I'm gonna get this gun. We gonna get him out of here. Like, I'm gonna post screenshots. Nah, we get him up out of here,
Out of
dog.
here. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
That's the one thing that we remember this beef for. That it was all
Yo,
worth it. It's all worth it.
got him out of there. And look, Adam 22 said some dumb shit at the beginning of this beef and realized he could easily be DJ Vlad because even without him saying anything or arguing with people, people are like, man, let's get him too. Like,
Hey, honestly, shout out Rory, man. Shout out
hey,
Rory. Because
hey,
he's the only one who understood his place in all of this. You know what? We should shut up.
yeah. He was like, you know what? Not for me. Not for me to talk about.
We gotta like let's just sit this one out. Let's just sit
Was
this
he
one
the
out.
one too that told was it Mal or was it Roy that was like, hey, somebody was like, you can't talk about somebody who helped you? He was like,
Yeah, Rory was like, well, we
we
did.
did. What you talking about?
Yes, we can. We did
What you
that.
mean? Like,
Oh man. Hey, can we talk about how fun the song is though?
oh, it's so fun.
It's it's so fun.
It's so fun.
Let me hear you say, "Oh, V
Oh, V
ho,
ho.
oh, V ho," and
Now
step this way.
step this way. Step this way.
Step this way.
Are you my friend? Are
Are
you
we locked in?
now step this way? Step this way. Step this way. Ooh,
Oh man,
ooh. Diabolical.
he's so
Like,
good.
yeah, and then like we could talk about like the overall theme of this of just how like he just completely outdid Drizzy and like everything that Drake does. Um, like Drake's the hit maker.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Like, you know, Drake's the T guy. No.
He's the numbers guy. He's the
Ooh,
numbers guy.
ooh,
No,
absolutely not. Not in this one.
like, he beat him. He beat him in the way that Drake Drake's reputation is for beating everybody else. Way more calculated. Way more calculated. Way more methodical.
Mm.
Everything done. Everything done with a purpose.
Oh yeah, just super sharp, super sharp. Hit him in every area. Like he made songs that were for us to bump and constantly like never let Drake forget that Kendrick swept him in his battle. Like, hey, Family Matters made it a close game, but damn, Kendrick went on a 20-0 run after that. Like, it was tough. It was tough. It was rough, but he's never gonna forget that. And it's like there's songs in there that are like to make him cry. Like Meet the Grams isn't for us to enjoy as much as it is to make Drake cry. Like he wants to make
that was
Drake.
a song. That was a song for Drake.
He wants to make Drake cry in so many different levels. Like he was trying to make Sandy cry. He was trying to make Dennis cry. He's honestly making a song that he wants Adonis to bump every time he's mad at Drake. Like this is. Yeah, that song wasn't for us to consume as much as it's kind of like how Ether was like, I just want to make Jay-Z cry. That was like, I want you to have your feelings be hurt.
Mission accomplished, by the way, from Nas. Shout out to Nas.
Yeah, we talked about that DSL line. That was crazy. I bet Jay-Z's still hot about it.
I would be.
Yeah, somebody said that about me. And then went on to let everybody know how uncreative I am because I stole my name here and then stole my flow here.
Oh man. Hey, somebody said, am I the only King Dan said, am I the only one who thought Family Matters sounded like ass? Let me tell you something, King Dan. Q is the man for you.
Hey, I didn't think it sounded like ass. I'm not gonna go that far. It is enjoyable to the ears. I just didn't think it was as good as everybody else thought it was. This is just gonna be another Mr. Morale moment with me and Cole. Like it just is what it is. Like, there is no middle ground in this conversation. But I don't think it's ass. But yeah, one thing we don't have to. Oh yeah, we got a great Heart Part 6. I forgot about this shit.
Let's make this one clear. Ain't too much to say. I mean, there's a lot to say, but
there's a lot to say.
There's a lot to say, but I don't want to harp on it too much. Let me see.
I'm low on this one. I'm just gonna let you know.
Oh yeah, I am too. I am too. Not even gonna hide it. And it hurts because I love Family Matters, and then he followed it up with this. Yeah, you see, oh wait, hold on. There it is. There it is.
I gave it a D flat for grade. Like it would have been a C if he didn't have that horrible attempt to try to flip the A minor bar. Horrible attempt. What was it? You try to C sharp, not a note that exists, by the way, but like not even the point. And you thought you left D flat, but D major. I will say this about this song. Undeniably, the one song that I know for a fact was exclusively penned by Drake. And I'm not just saying that because it's bad, by the way. Like, I do think Drake can rap. I think Drake is capable of more than what he did on the Heart Part 6. But the reason I'd say that this is unquestionably written by Drake is this sounds like Drake. Like, this sounds like Drake. Like, he had the same flow with, like, the mother that he had in Ignorant shit back in the day. Like, this sounds like the same flows he used to use before Scorpion dropped. Like, well, no, before, if you're reading this, it's too late. Before the ghostwriting allegations, basically. This was what Drake sounded like for the most part. Like, sonically, production-wise, it sounded like Drake. And I don't know if he solely wrote this because he just didn't trust anybody at this point. I don't know if he solely wrote this because he just wanted to get this done. Like, to me, it reads like it reads like, hey, let me make sure my fans have something to get out of here with, right? Like, so I don't lose everybody. I think it backfired as a strategy because this song is doing more damage to his reputation than anything Kendrick could have dropped. Because the stuff I've seen people like bring up just because this song dropped, I'm like, he would have been better off not dropping. Like,
he couldn't do that. You can't.
He couldn't.
Because you lose regardless. It's a lose-lose at this point.
You know, but I'm like, if he doesn't drop, we don't get this opportunity to basically double down on the PDF file stuff, because what has come of this song is people saying, man, Drake's defense of not being one sure makes it seem like there's more credibility to these allegations than we initially thought.
This is why I said it's
but it's just there's no good way to defend yourself from this.
This is my thing. There's no good way to defend yourself from most
That's fair.
But he picked the absolute worst angles and responses to those kind of allegations you possibly could. Let's just break them down really quick. First and foremost, I'm too famous for this to be true.
In a song where he brings up Epstein.
When we know that it took like
30
years for R. Kelly to go to jail. And everything we know about people who have done those horrible things, a lot of times they're famous people, and
that's why they can get away with it.
That's why they can get away with it. You don't find out for a long time they were doing that.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? Absolutely, just the worst. Well, second worst, actually. Second worst thing. The worst thing he said.
Wait, which one?
When he was trying to flip the Mother I Sober stuff back on Kendrick.
Oh, before we get to that, Drake is not no name you go see on no sex offender list.
Somebody tweeted, yeah, because your name's Aubrey Graham, bozo. Oh, he was getting clowned. He was getting clowned, man. He was getting clowned. He should have.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, man, that's why I feel like he would have been better off not dropping, because all this did was make people clown him more. And I'm like, if he would have dropped, there would have been people just calling him soft because he didn't respond, but it wouldn't be this. Like, I think it made it worse, to be honest. No, like,
you had to respond because first of all, you begged him to do this. You went on Instagram. You was active on social media.
It was such a mistake, man.
You begged Kendrick to do. You won't drop. You ain't got nothing. No, you got to follow through just for you to wave the white flag at the end.
Man, you definitely burnt this shit out.
He sounded like he knew he bit off more than he could chew. He wasn't ready for this.
Let's get to the part where he lost everybody. The Mother I part. Yeah, your thing going crazy right now. Dog.
It's going nuts. What's going on, man?
Crazy right now.
Okay, I think I'm good. I'm good.
The Mother I part of this whole thing. It's one thing to misquote the meaning of a song, which, like, okay, Drake don't read right. Drake don't do reading comprehension well. Does not help his case at all, right? Like the whole thing where Kendrick said you 37 with the mental capacity of a 7-year-old. Yeah, that hits now. By the way, another underrated thing. Third song of Kendrick Lamar's that he just completely misunderstood in this whole beef, because he also talks about how Kendrick's dad got robbed by Top Dog. That's not what it says in Top Dog. That's not what Duck's Worth about.
No, that was about.
But there's also the unoriginal angle of this, that this seems like direct quotes from Instagram and Twitter, like Drake communities, where I'm like, okay, we literally heard the Angels say this before he dropped, but so it's weird to hear it in diss track. I thought it was AI when I first heard it. But it's one thing to misunderstand and consistently misunderstand Kendrick bars, which he showed that he did in this beef. It's another thing to be like, hey man, ha ha, you got molested.
We allowed to say that on here?
I don't think so, but it's gonna have to fly. Like we 4 hours in, I said it. But you got I don't want to even come with a cute way to say it. You got that. Ha ha. That's why you're like this. And then be wrong about it? So like now you look like a dumbass and a asshole.
It's one of them things where I was sitting there like, bro, so you gonna say because you were a victim, which he wasn't, his mother was. So you're a victim. So that's why you don't like predators. It's just the absolute dumb, just stupidest.
Drake, why does he need a reason? Why does he need a reason? Why does he need a reason?
The absolute dumbest thing I've
If we talk about predators, you know what? I don't want to ever hear somebody say, you know why I don't like predators? What? You need a reason? Like, but yeah, and like that was his whole justification. And then like, it's a song about getting your facts straight. And he can't even quote a song that's publicly available on a fucking album, like correctly.
Bro, you could have went to Genius and you would have known this. Could have looked it up. Could have looked it up.
Just spent 5 minutes. Just
5 minutes.
And here's the crazy thing, Cole. It's not like the reveal is at the end of the song. The reveal is 2 minutes in. No, 1 minute into the track. Like this isn't even the revelation of the song, Cole. This is the premise of the song. He opens with this. Like it's like in one of the first couple of verses. Hey man. Hey. Embarrassing.
Yeah, man, it's bad.
It's bad. Man.
Bad.
This is bad. We're not even gonna talk about the fact that like he's trying to lie to us about this whole like, oh yeah, I fed him fake information cope thing like that. That just I was like, wow. So Drake is one of those losers on the internet that gets like quote tweeted to death and then like comes back and be like, oh, I triggered a lot of people. Like, so that's who you are. You're that guy on Twitter. You're the guy. Okay, that's who Drake is because that is a direct line of somebody who would do that kind of shit. You know, just like this is a real like loser song. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. This song felt like a loss. It felt like a loser talking about a loss. And it felt like a loser talking about a loss he just doesn't understand. Because I still contend, I don't think he understands why Kendrick hates him still. Like, and it's blatantly obvious to almost everybody who's listened to these songs. And I think Drake's like, does he think I like young girls? Is this why he doesn't like me? I'm like, that's only part of it. That's just what he's using to clown you because you're weird about that. What he doesn't like about you is again, it's in the Al Green sample. It's in the Teddy Pettigrew sample.
It's there, man.
Hey,
there's a whole bunch of stuff I don't like. I'm gonna be real with you. It's a whole bunch of stuff I don't like.
Mm-hmm. But this is at the core of it, right?
This is number one. It's the number one thing I do not like. I don't fuck with this at all. Ooh, man.
Yeah. I contend that this was worse than actually like not dropping. Like not dropping would have been bad. I get your point on that. It would have been bad. He asked for this. He would have looked bad. But he basically got all of the negative effects from not dropping while getting more negative effects for dropping, because like we're coming out of this like, dog, you begged him to drop and now you quitting. You say no more songs. I'm done. No mas. Yeah. Like it was just like, wow, man, this dude is coping bad. Like bad.
He gotta just disappear for a little bit.
Yeah,
come back, make some more music. Come back, make some more music. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, man, I don't want to hear from Drake for like at least 2 years. Like just 2 years. We good, bro. Like we good, Drake. We good. 2 years, and like I don't want to hear nothing weird come up in them 2 years. By the way, also don't ever ever don't ever say nothing about Kendrick or apparently Serena or, or apparently Pharrell because Kendrick has made it clear I'm inheriting beef. Like,
Hey, Cody Clark said exponentially horrible results. I ain't never seen that many dislikes on a YouTube video.
yeah, it was bad. It's
He got
bad. I'm
like
like, it's
it's like
worse.
600,000 dislikes or something like that.
Yeah, it's like this is like his least liked song, and Kendrick just dropped his most commercially popular song, more than likely. Like, hey man, J. Cole, I think after he dropped 7 Minute Drill and knew it was hot garbage, understood that he just was not the man for this fight. And I could respect somebody who could at least be there with his ego enough to know I'm not gonna beat him. Like, I'm not gonna beat him. I'm not willing to go to the places I have to go to even try to beat him. And apparently, I love the one tweet was like, J. Cole knows these dudes, y'all don't. Apparently, he must have known that Kendrick was a psychopath. Okay,
I mean, what they say is that I mean, I thought I saw something somewhere on Twitter
like
where they basically
Schoolboy
like
Q.
Schoolboy was like, "Hey, you should probably sit this one out. You should probably stay out of this." But my thing with the Cole thing is like, "Hey, man, what you doing that you was like, nah, I don't want them to start talking about me. What I got going on? What you got going on? What you got
Hey,
going on, Cole?"
he probably trying to keep it all together. You know what I mean? Like it might
Hey,
be,
look, man, he wanted the secret to stay secret. I can respect that.
hey, hey, look, he didn't ask for this. He actively after he kind of asked for it, he actively said, nope, never mind. Like, I'm good.
I
I'm
will say
good.
this. I will say this though. I will say this. If I'm Drake, I'm gonna shoot at Cole every opportunity I get.
I think if I'm Cole, you might want to think about doing the same thing. Because I have a personal theory. I think I think Kendrick was really bothered by Cole touring with Drake. I think that clearly bothered him because they've had conversations about how Drake be acting because I toured with him in 2011. They be having conversations about how Drake be acting. I don't think it's a secret that Kendrick does not like Drake. Right? It was not a secret before this. It was they both don't like each other. Like Drake, was it Marcellus Wiley's book of all fucking people, by the way. Marcellus Wiley, when he was doing Numbers Never Lie, with Michael Smith, had Drake on, and apparently Drake went on for like 8 minutes talking a can of shit about Kendrick back in like 2014 after Control. And they had to scrub it because his management said don't air it. But so that's been out there. These two actively don't like each other. You supposed to be my boy. You know how Kendrick is. He kind of he got that like loner kind of like energy where he's like super loyal to people, but he probably don't like talk to people a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And them dudes, they don't like shit like this. Like I think he was bothered by it for real. That Cole would do such a thing as to associate with Drake in the way that he's associating with him. To like hugging him on stage and shit, like accepting his flowers from Drake. And that bugged him. That really did. But I don't think Kendrick hated him for that. I just think he was mad. Okay. And I think Schoolboy told him, Kendrick's just mad at you. But you know he hate Drake. Okay. All right. And you know you should never went on tour with him, all this stuff. And I get where J. Cole is at. He's trying to drop the fall off. It seems like it might be one of his last albums. And he has been everywhere trying to get everybody possible to listen to this fucking album, right? He's been on features everywhere. He don't ever do features. He's been on a bunch of features recently. And I think he just got caught up. Like he was making business moves. And he was like, oh yeah, I'll tour with Drake. That makes sense. That'll give me a lot of promo. I'll do this.
You know, you know Kendrick gonna be on that album, right?
Oh, on this? On the fall
Fall
off?
off. I I'm willing to bet money. he will be on that album.
He said something about you did Cole wrong and not like us, right?
Yeah, he said yeah. He's like, why you did Cole wrong? Why you still pretending?
Yeah. And
You see
okay,
what I'm
this goes
saying?
back to my theory. I think Drake gassed Cole into thinking this was something that it wasn't. I think Drake was like, yeah, I can't believe he talk about us. Like, really wanted like J. Cole to go at him because before like 14 other people, like before We Still Don't Like You came out, it wasn't clear if Drake was going to drop a track, right? Like, it wasn't until like everybody was like, fuck Drake, that it became obvious that Drake had an angle to go at.
Can we talk about that too?
Yeah.
It feels like it's relevant and notable that like the entire industry was like, fuck Drake, and took the opportunity to really speak on that in this whole thing. Like
And
it
not
like
one person was like, I actually like Drake. Like nobody, like who's actually like kind of like came out there and like stood up for Drake that's not in his camp directly.
I mean it just his fans.
Yeah. Like Mac Main did it, but that went horribly for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, there's
Well, people kept posting the Predators moving flocks after Mac May said something. I was like, oh yeah, that's bad. That's
yeah, and
bad.
then they found a tweet where like it was one thing for you to say it in about 3 years, holla at me, Miley Cyrus, which we was in high school at the time. We didn't understand how disgusting that was. But in about 3 years is nuts. For him to double down on it 2 years later, it says, hey, one more year, Miley. Crazy. He
Nuts.
deleted that shit. That was nuts.
Nuts. Had to delete that. Had to delete that one. Had to delete that one. That's crazy.
That was what was that that's and by the way, didn't help your boy. Didn't help your boy at all. Made it worse.
Yeah, if I can give Drake any just one piece of advice going forward, using Ack and Maul and whoever else to try to like speak for you, don't do that no more. Cause brother, they are not helping. Like they are not helping your public perception
Yeah, I saw
at
you
all.
talking on Twitter about how Maul was talking about how Drake put on the Migos. Like there wouldn't be the Migos without Drake. I'm
He
like,
said he said that we wouldn't even know who the Migos are if it wasn't for Drake. And I was like,
get the fuck
okay,
out of
bro.
here.
I'm like, bro, it's just nasty. Like it's just getting nasty now. It's just getting nasty now. Come on, bro.
And by the way, leave Quavo alone at this point, dog. He already done lost. Like, don't make
Like it's
Quavo
just
jump into
nasty.
this, man. Like,
You said don't make Quavo jump into
don't make
this.
Quavo jump into this and have to defend the Migos. Like,
He been through enough, bro.
yeah, he's
He
been
been
through a
through enough.
lot. He's been through a lot. All right. He lost a battle to Chris Brown. Like, it's been rough for Quavo,
He can
man.
still he can still respond. He ain't lost all the way yet. He can still respond. He
He
lost,
lost a battle to
unfortunately.
Chris Brown. Nah,
He
nah.
lost.
The
Yeah.
second that somebody says you lost to somebody who is known for singing, it's over. Like it happened with Drake. Like, like
Hey,
the second
Chris
Chris
is rapping
Brown.
though.
Yeah, here's the thing. When you go back and forth with somebody who is not really a rapper and you lose, it does not matter what you drop after that. Like the one is enough to lose. Meek Mill could have dropped the hardest diss track ever at the back to back. It wouldn't have mattered. The one was enough because at that time we weren't thinking about Drake like no rapper like that. Like after that, he starts getting into his like bars era, right? Where he drops more of his hard shit. But before that, it was Nothing Was the Same, and he shouting out Ashley from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? Like it's shit that I love, but you know, it wasn't no shit that made you think he was gonna win a battle. Okay, like
Oh man.
yeah, it was yeah, he's gotta stop, man. Like honestly, it's just doing damage to Maul. It's just doing the damage to academics. Uh, it's just take the L. Just take the L.
Literally, bro. Take the L. It happens. It
It's
happens.
undeniable. Well, no, it doesn't happen because like usually L's aren't this big. I'm gonna be real with you, Drake. This L is massive. This is a massive L. Like, this is one
Is
of the
this
large. This is
is
the
this worse than
largest L I've
Pusha T?
seen. Oh, this
Is
is
this
way
the
worse than Pusha T.
is this worse than Pusha T?
Because
Okay, I
that was
just
just
wanted to make
Pusha
sure.
T. Yeah, that was just Pusha T. Like, all he had to do was show a picture of him taking care of his son. And people were like, oh, well, it's okay. We're over that. This is one of the biggest rappers and the most respected rapper of his generation by his peers and by the music crowd in general, actively calling you and everybody you associate it with predators. And dropping a beat that will be played for the next 30 years. Even if they got to play the instrumental to get that shit on TV. You know what it is. Also,
They're just gonna bleep out the words they gotta bleep out. That's it.
And like, let's be real. There's 2 songs that will be playing at the end of at the commercial break of every basketball game from now to the end of time that surface from this beef. Like That and Not Like Us, right? Like, it's there, dog. You're never going to be able to. This Pusha T just was not a big enough superstar or a hit maker enough to make this L as fat as it is for you. Like, yeah, it was more damning T, but this is just. Part of me thinks that there's a chance that like he has to start rapping with like MGK, like Tom McDonald, like. We gonna see Drake streaming on Rumble. Like it. Hey, dog. Your next album better be the best shit you ever dropped, Drake. Like, because if you drop another For All the Dogs, you gonna be one of them dudes we forgot about, man.
Okay, we never go forget about Drake. We never go forget about
Not forget
Drake.
about, but you know how like Kanye
inserted
inserted himself into this beef and we never felt the need to even talk about it.
Oh yeah, forgot.
Yeah, it's gonna be there. It's gonna be there. It's like, all right, well, yeah, you're gonna have an audience, right? There's always gonna be OVO fans, but it's never gonna be in vogue, right? That's what I mean. Like Drake ain't never gonna be in style again. Hey man. Well, what Schoolboy say? Some people you just gotta leave alone. Like,
facts.
When you saw that man doing push-ups in the middle in a street park in Compton, like no security, nothing, that's a man you leave alone. He doing jail workouts. Like he doing jail workouts just to feel a connection to the people. Like
he was in Brooklyn just having pull-up contests with people, with random people on the street. Like just
hey.
Oh,
you gotta be very careful. You gotta be very careful when you come with these sub 6 foot brothers. All right.
Oh, before we get to the super chats, BBL Drizzy.
Oh yeah, BBL Drizzy. Diabolical. Diabolical. Hey, Metro, by the way, didn't think you'd come back from that. You came back. Like, very smart move. Because I was nervous because I saw him holding like a paper and shit next to a mic. I'm like, he better not rap. Like we not about to.
You knew he wasn't about to rap nothing.
You knew he wasn't about to do. What he about to rap? Like, get the fuck out of here. Nah, man. He came and with the beat giveaway and basically, like, to add to the thesis statement, has a whole community of rappers dropping the most vicious bars on Drake that you have ever heard. Because these kids got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Okay, everything to gain.
No, it was a 117-year-old kid who went viral under it.
Yeah, he said you got that Wayne tattoo, probably where T.I. pissed on you. Oh my God, it was just disgusting.
His went viral. I was like, oh man, he might get a call.
Yeah, he might be on PG Lane.
No, they was calling it a distrumental.
Distrumental, absolutely just nasty work. Absolutely nasty work, man.
Oh man,
Kendrick is. This was a insane moment in hip hop. Like, I've never seen so many people be like, we need to get this motherfucker out the paint. Like, this is unprecedented. unprecedented.
Yeah, it was a 20v1 for real. It was like, nah, we gonna take you out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hey,
We
imagine
gonna
being
take
in a
you out.
20v1 and one of the 20 is Kendrick.
Yeah, he ain't really need no help. He ain't really need too much help.
Hey, once he started rapping, by the way, everybody else was like, I'm just gonna comment. Like no more diss tracks. ASAP Rocky was not about to drop a response track. Future was not about to be out here like, oh,
Thank
I'm gonna
God.
respond. Like,
Hey, shout out to ASAP for not inserting himself into this at all and just being like, you know what, I'm good.
you
Thank
got that.
God.
You literally have much better things to do. Like,
Because Drake, hey, I'm gonna be real. Drake smoked you.
yeah.
Cooked you. I'm
But it's
glad he didn't say
cool.
nothing.
Don't nobody care if you get smoked ASAP. Like, let's be real. Only thing we care about ASAP is what happened from 2012 to like 2016. After that, the legacy's done. Like, I'd rather him not rap, to be honest. Like, do a couple features here and there. Go off, do your thing. Because like long live ASAP is what we were here for. Everything else is like, all right, with ASAP. But yeah. Rick Ross, you don't need to drop another song.
Imagine Saki said an international disc competition.
Yeah, when I started hearing my brothers in Japan, okay.
Bro, I heard somebody rapping in French. I'm like, what are we doing? Hey,
I
but
was like,
10K
man,
is 10K. I get it. I absolutely
hey,
get it.
it was crazy because they was just doing this for a free beat at first.
At first, it was a free beat. And then he said, okay, I'll give the winner 10K. I was like, ooh, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I saw some sketch art. I saw it was civilians or something like that drop a diss track because apparently Drake stole one of his jokes. Like,
And hey, so some said Rich T 330. They're just going to listen to the music, and Drake's songs were way better. First Person Shooter was the song of the year. Nah, I like that's the song of the year.
the first person shooter's not bad.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
It's a great song. Like that's the song
Also,
of the year.
if we're being honest about first person shooter, Cole smoked it.
Yeah, he did.
He smoked it.
He
Cole
did.
is the only reason I come back to that song.
He
I
100% smoked that.
Drake's verse isn't bad, but there's some Drakeisms in there. Hey, I told you about the one bar I hate in there, the terrible like a 2-year-old.
The second the second Drake verse after the beat switch is hard.
I didn't like the beat switch itself. I think the verse is good in that one, but I just didn't like the beat switch.
I feel like after that Cole verse, he was like, okay, let me get back in. Let me get back on here.
I got to just change the game. Yeah, because
yeah, let me get back on here. And I completely get it.
And like, now I don't know. This feels like classic Kendrick fan reaching. But somebody was like, I don't think the first part of this is true, where they're like, hey, like the beginning of Euphoria is supposed to be reminiscent of first person shooter, and he's like imitating Drake's flow. Now, that second flow he hits in Euphoria does sound like J. Cole's flow in first person shooter. You have to go back and listen to it, tell me what you think. But I was like, it does sound somewhat reminiscent, but like, I don't think Kendrick was thinking that much. Like,
yeah, some of the Kendrick fans be doing a lot. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
they be doing a
they're
lot.
like, because there is a lot of like double entendre with Kendrick, which would lead you to believe that there could be even more. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's just a double entendre. Everything else is just an accident. Like how much thought can that motherfucker put into that song in 2 weeks? Okay, when he's like actually responding to a song that ain't even been released yet. Like. Whew. But let's get to these super chats, man.
Yeah, because we got a lot to get to.
Yeah, it was I think Drake got outclassed. I think this was a pretty embarrassing day for Drake, to be honest with you. I would be pretty distraught if I were one of his diehard fans. This was a rough one. Wow. Holy shit. We're gonna be here till the fucking Cavs game starts.
We still got to talk about the Cavs.
We still got to talk about Cat. Ray Rag says, could you imagine someone telling, we'll touch on Cat real quick. We're only like an hour 40 in, so like.
Oh, yeah. We got time.
And I'm only dropping once this week because it's my birthday on my main channel, so I ain't got to upload something like at 6 or something like that. Oh, by the way, that's the people who watch my main channel. I'm only dropping once this week because I need a little bit of a break. Like, a brother been working hard. I've been dropping 2 videos every day, like 3 during the season. Yeah, I need to recharge. Could you imagine someone? Oh, Ray Rag says, could you imagine someone telling you how your family, how shitty of a person you are, and then looking at you and telling you directly that after they're done, just start shitting on you again while dancing? Not dancing, crip walking. Okay, like you can't even.
Man. Oh,
Here's the crazy part, man. Dennis Graham be going to these clubs still, right? Like his old ass still be the man in the club. Apparently, from everybody who like goes out in LA, they're like, yeah, Dennis Graham be at the nightclubs all the time. He's had to hear this. He's had to hear people's energy about this. And you know what? There's a chance that Dennis Graham might be dancing to it too. Like, I saw someone say Drake puts girls on pre-order. Ooh, Accolade. Ooh. Oh, and there's stuff to make you think that might be. Ooh.
That doesn't feel good.
Oh. He's lucky Accolade said it and not Kendrick. Okay. Ooh. Hey, he lucky Kendrick not a gamer. Like, because that shit would have came to his head if he played video games. Ooh. That's nasty work. Ray Rag says, go listen to the first verse on Euphoria. Kendrick predicted the angle that Drake would go down and the fact that he would be wrong about the things that he heard on Mr. Morale. I didn't think Kendrick predicted that he would be wrong about the things that he would predict on Mr. Morale, but I think he predicted that Drake would use a very poor analysis of Mr. Morale as the basis of his tea on Kendrick.
And that was, he proved to be correct. Yeah, that's true.
That was true. By the way, this beef was extra great for us Mr. Morale lovers. I know this is the one part of this beef that Cove does not like, but for us who do like Mr. Morale, we out here puffing our chest out, right? Because that's not an opinion that I could have been out there with a couple months ago, you know.
Hey, hold on. Retracity said, like I said, we just ignored Metro's weird ass tweets. I seen weird ass tweets this morning.
Which ones? Because like he just be tweeting out anything.
Like they was bringing up his old tweets from when he was a teenager.
Oh, Metros?
Yeah.
Or Drake's?
No, Metros.
Let me see these.
And I was like, ooh, that's bad. That's bad. Some of them I was like, okay, like teenager stuff. I like, and then some of them I was like, okay, no, that's bad even if you're a teenager. Like that's pretty bad even if you're a teenager.
What I gotta search to find these Metro tweets?
Yeah, probably just Metro tweets. I was like, ooh, it's a rough one, buddy.
She might be young, but she ready.
Yeah, that was
and I'm tweeting via web like a whoa.
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad tweets.
Hey dog, Metro was in college when he said that. 2012, he's like 30, right?
Well, if it's 2024. So he's 18, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Still bad. Still
really dumb shit to tweet.
Yeah,
yes,
still bad.
The crew. If I get a chick that wants me, get her some Molly, guaranteed. Okay, that's on you ain't even know it levels. That's just
that's some bad tweets. Some really bad tweets. Even for 18.
All right, Metro, let Kendrick finish this battle.
Bow out, please.
Bow out. Just announce the winner and bow out, brother. Bow out. This is bad. This is real bad for you. Now this ultimately it's just bad tweets. Like we coming at Drake for a pattern of behavior, but still.
Bad tweets, bro. It's bad.
These are awful tweets. Like, what do you mean? Like,
it's bad tweets, dog.
And I try not to be judgmental. Cause like I didn't tweet like that when I was in high school. But we all know people who did tweet like that when they was in high school. But also, I'm gonna be honest, the people who tweeted like that when they in high school, they still not people I fuck with. Like or like.
Facts.
Like
Facts.
like yeah, like oh yeah, like I knew people, but it's like yeah, they still like pretty trash. Like, but
Like the tweets of that nature.
yeah.
Like if you could say it, if you could say stuff like that back then, it's like
There was always a camp that divided the lunchroom, and there were dudes who thought it was okay to be seniors and talk to freshmen, and there were dudes who thought that should be clowned upon behavior.
yeah.
We know which crowd Drake was in, and apparently Metro. Okay, okay, like
And back to the super chat.
whoo, whoo, whoo. Thank you for bringing that one up. To tell him, oh, Ray Rag says to tell him your music pacifies. I could double down on that, but it's a nice, it's a random act of kindness. It didn't last long. Like,
He literally told us from the beginning exactly what he was what he was going for.
and like to start his responses off with like that really smooth, slowed Teddy Pendergrass sample, and then to end it with "Not Like Us" when the whole thing is you pacify him, I electrify him. Yeah, it's well thought out. Like, I have a hard time believing you thought that from the beginning, but I think you saw an opportunity to capitalize, and you did, right? Like, I think that's
100% did. 100%
yes.
did.
I love that Future on Like That was just doing the normal Future shit. Damn well, and then Kendrick was going to diss Drake. Hey man, have you heard that second verse that apparently Future had for Like That?
It was hard to. And I'm surprised they didn't put that on the song.
I thought that should be the first verse, right? Like that was good.
Hey, can we be honest? I feel like the other big winner here outside of Kendrick is Future.
Got two number ones.
He got 2 number 1 albums out of this, which just like and possibly the song of the year because that Like That is on his album.
Yeah.
Well, him and Metro's album, I guess. But yeah.
Also, Kendrick, you know, I'll be willing to do a feature for Future, but I'm not about to do no feature for you, Drake. Like, just, intentional. It's so intentional. Like,
Oh my Lord.
oh my God. All right. Akalon says, Kolb, I saw someone say Hazen return in chapter 616.
Okay, because 616 in LA.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'll explain this one to you. So there was a because they were
Is
talking
this
about
the anime character I've been seeing like associated with? Okay.
Yeah, so this is well there were multiple, but they put him on the Mount Hatemore. And there were some anime characters that were on there. Where if you watch the anime, you understand why they're on there. But they compared him to a character in an anime called Bleach. His name is Sosuke Aizen, who is just the most diabolical, just the most evil motherfucker in the show. Well, technically second most evil, but yeah, he very diabolical, very calculated character. And he loses a fight earlier in the series, and the chapter where he comes back into the series is chapter 616.
Mm.
And I was just like, and I was sitting there like, that is an insane coincidence.
And we find out Kendrick likes anime.
Woo! So I was like, that's one of them coincidences. So I was like, oh, that's
Meet the Grams was the red wedding of rap songs. Like that shit was. You seen Kai Cenat's reaction to that song?
Mm-hmm. I also saw his reaction to Not Like Us.
I saw academics like start crit walking to it. I was like, damn, bro, like you know that shit hard. Like,
It's undeniable.
it's undeniable.
Despite what people in our chat might say, it's undeniable.
When somebody say Not Like Us is deniable.
But somebody is in here is a very, very, very big.
There has been.
I'll say that.
Yeah, there have been a couple people who've been mad at me about not siding with either Drake or J. Cole or this one. And I'm like, hey dog, the music spoke. Like
Listen, it is what it is. I'm not about to sit here and lie. Like I said, some of them, I said the Drake songs was hard,
yeah, Cole likes the Drake shit.
except the hard part six. That's terrible. But like, I was like,
Nobody likes that. I hope you don't like that in chat. Like, even if you defended Drake, like if you defended Drake, you gotta at least start with, hey, Hard Part 6 is ass, but
Family Matters was hard. I was like, yo,
yeah.
that might
If
be
you
the
want to
whole,
make
that
the
might be the best
argument,
diss.
hey, if you want to make the argument that Drake did not get out rapped more than he got outmaneuvered, okay, you can make that argument. I think he got out rapped too, but you know, that's an argument you can make without sounding crazy. But we gotta be real here. They playing they played Kendrick's victory songs in both rounds, okay, on TNT.
True. Hey, Two Leaf even said it. He was like, "Hey, man, like Drake said that song was hard. Drake said the hard part six. You know, I would dance to it if it wasn't so many lies in it. I'm like, bro, come on now. You can't admit the song is hard. You cannot admit the song is hard.
That's basically when MGK called Eminem the GOAT in a diss song. Like,
oh, and Cody Clark says, I just seen where the UGM was pressed to get this squashed. I'm not gonna lie, I do think this is true. I think the reason he bowed out like that is because, well, at least part of the reason. Kendrick kind of proved that I'm willing to take this to a place that you're not willing to take it to. You see what I'm saying? And that has to be like bad for his corporate partners and everything like that.
No, the Heart Part 6 sounds like something like that was a first draft of a corporate like Zoom meeting. Like it's like, hey, we need to make sure you let these people know that you definitely did not. Like,
hey, drop it.
Yeah, and go. No, yeah, it'd be hilarious too. So it's like, and you're getting cooked right now.
They didn't care, but they probably there's like, hey man, you look crazy, and people have gotten dropped for less, significantly less than
I
this.
wouldn't have blamed, honestly, like after Not Like Us came out, I really wanted to blame Drake for dropping a no tap and peacing out. Like, yeah, there's nothing, because like it's one thing that there's nothing really you can say. It's also, didn't nobody want to hear you talk after Not Like Us came out? Like it was, nobody wanted to hear Drake talk after that. And that's part of the reason why I got torn apart so quickly. It's because everyone's like, man, get this shit out of here. You're not about to make me not like us. Like, yeah, honestly, he could. He just, this was bad. Like it just, I think this went as bad as it did. I think it was a panic response. It just was bad. Let's see. Ray Rag says, Drake, how the hell can you talk about Kendrick using Twitter bots and bloggers when we have known that you bought streams and Twitter bots and use academics and Kai to get hype for Family Man? Yeah. I mean, that felt like an accusation that felt like more like projection than anything, right? Oh, you're botting your streams. And by the way, another admission of defeat. You know, because you was talking to Taylor Made big shit about how Kendrick needs Taylor. He got to wait for Taylor before he dropped because he don't want to get stepped on and all this shit, right? Remember that? And Taylor Made the whole angle about how you not even top dog at your label, how you not big like me, all this stuff, which is a crazy thing for Drake to talk about, how like he has to split his check. And I'm like, Drake, we know you're signed to Cash Money. Like, also, like, can we, another thing that I think is interesting to address, can we talk about the fact that Drake has been working way too hard for somebody as rich as him the last 2 years? Like 5 tours, 3 albums.
I don't know enough. I'm not privy enough to like the specific of his deal to get into that.
I don't know if it's his deal. So like, I'm just saying that don't seem right. Like, that's too many shows for Drake to be doing. Drake is so fucking popular. Like, why is he dropping 3 albums? And like, what, he went on like 3 tours too? No, 4 tours, because he did the J. Cole tour too.
Something like that.
Yeah, man. Kendrick did say he has a gambling addiction and doesn't know how to spend his money or something like that in Family Matters.
Yeah, yeah. Spends his
If
money
we,
on a lot of things. A lot of things.
which he flexed in the Family Matters song for sure. He
Hmm.
did. But yeah, I just wonder like why is he working this hard recently? It's really been interesting. Um, Ray Rag says I've said someone from Kendrick's camp talked to Cole and told him personally it was confirmed it was Schoolboy Q that talked to him. Yeah, Schoolboy Q. Schoolboy Q didn't want to see that happen to him. Like, yeah. I really like. I can't wait for the documentary that drops. Or this, I don't think this is going to be a documentary. Like this seems like a series of interviews that's going to drop one day, and like I think they were very adamant to J. Cole to let this go, right? Like because it couldn't have been an easy one to let go because you know how he got talked about,
Hmm.
and he knew that was going to happen to him.
But,
And
a
hey,
couple weeks later, everybody said you made the right decision.
hey, get Schoolboy on the fall off. Like real friends. All right. Yeah, that was a whoever advised J. Cole to stay out this beef. J. Cole, just know you got a real friend. Okay. You gotta because everybody else was like, nah, I want to see the mess. I want to see you rap. And somebody was like, hey bro, fuck all that shit. You don't need to do this.
Stay out of this. Stay out of this.
Certified boogeyman. I'm the one that went to flow with him. That up the skull with him.
Oh
Ooh.
man.
Hey Drake. It's just so nasty, dog. And then like I think he's even talking about because in Family Matters, he talks about how he doesn't call him Drake because he has to pay to call him Drake. And then the first time he calls him Drake, this whole beef, he's like, hey Drake. Like, I hear you like I'm young.
You better not ever go to cell block one.
Ooh.
Ooh, man.
Ooh. Baka
Oh
got a
no.
weird case. Why is he around? Which I've been wondering too. Like, hey man, Baka's been around for a while. And I remember when I found out, because when the Not Nice song came out,
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was jamming that, and homegirl I was in the car with let me know what he was accused of. I was like, oh, well, that song's not fun no more. Like, that kills it. That was in 2018. He's been around since then.
I didn't even realize I was like, who is? I've heard him like shout him out, but I was like, who is that? And then obviously you found out pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, because like when he was talking about you got people in your camp that are that has some pretty crazy crimes in them and meet the grabs, I was like, he talking about Baka. Okay. Like I know it. Whew. Okay, let's see right here. Akalon says the only real winner is the owner of that restaurant. Also, Metro is diabolical. He had to sit and think of some way to get back at Drake. Dedication. Yeah, he truly.
That's dedication. That's dedication.
Cause I know he was furious when Drake dropped that shit at push-ups because that was fucking hilarious.
Let's your whole ass up and do the
And then
drums.
he had drummers come at him at Magic City. Put an AI thing of him playing the drum and drum line. I know he was furious for like at least 2 weeks. I would have, man.
Hey, he got it back though. He got it back.
He got it back. Hey man, Drake gotta stop pushing people because people want to push back on him. like, hey bro, some people just can't push people like that. He one of them. Like you gotta stop. So when you push people, people violently push back. Ray Rag says, I don't know what your opinions about Fantano are. Oh, Cope don't like Fantano. I know that for a fact. What?
Is that the dude is that
That's the
the
dude who gave he
bald dude
gave
with the
my
glasses?
he gave my beautiful dark twisted like a 3 or some shit like that. He gave.
Hey man,
Yeah.
he entitled to his opinion just like I'm entitled to mine.
But watching, way to be diplomatic. But watching him in real time, find out Kendrick dropped 30 minutes after Drake, then watching him hear the lyrics. No, that was the best thing about the reactions was that I think Kendrick was doing that shit for that, where he was like, I want to see everybody react to me dropping this shit. So I'm going to drop it. When you doing the analysis and the breakdown, all right, chat, let's get into it. Doop.
Joe Budden podcast was so happy. He was like, is he doing this on purpose? It feel like he doing this on purpose.
He wanted to see people's reaction. I know he was watching that shit. Shout out to Kendrick, man. This is nuts. This is
shout out to him for real. Shout out to him for real.
Because he came out. He ain't like, also, because Kendrick does try to accomplish so much in his albums, right? He doesn't necessarily focus on rapping all that much, like since Good Kid, Mad City. He was rapping. He was rapping. This was almost like rigor mortis level of like, yo, he's rapping. Like
he wasn't playing around.
Nah, he with the RDC World one, he's rapping.
he pulls out the gun.
2 a.m. in Compton, drop that.
Dude, he kept pulling out the gun. He was like, man, put that away. Bro.
Yeah, man, put that away, Crody. By the way, shout out to Desmond on that skit. He perfectly nailed the I'm black. Perfectly nailed that. Ooh. Diabolical.
Man, this whole thing is so much funnier than this shit.
Yeah, I didn't know Kendrick was hilarious like this.
Man, it's so much funnier than it should be.
Because like now, like the thing about Not Like Us is that he's clearly just having fun in that one. like even when he's doing what he does at the end of that song, he's actively like bumping while he's doing this.
Hey, they need to drop the video. They need to do it. That's what we need. We need to see the video.
And the video got receipts in it or some shit. Like certified bookie, man. I'm the one to up the scope with them. The flows are so clean. Drake. Honestly, somebody had to find out if this whole Kendrick Boogeyman thing was real. And I don't think
it's looking like it's real.
And Kendrick was like, it couldn't have happened to him. It's like when LeBron junked on Jason Terry, couldn't have happened to a better person. Like, I was waiting for this. I've been waiting for this shit since 2010. Like,
this is what you saying. I need this one. It means something to me.
Oh, it meant something to me. Yeah, like look, when he dropped all those tracks, that was him saying, "Oh, I want this more than you." I've been wanting this since you were acting like a little bitch about control. Like, basically, because he said some crazy shots to him after that Control bar. Mm-hmm. Like, on the BET Awards, again. Like, whew. Does Drake have a BET cipher?
No. No. He doesn't.
He doesn't have a BET cipher?
No, he does not.
Interesting. Sam Fisher says K-Dot is insane because he 100% was ready to 2v1 Cole and Drake. If Cole never apologized, Euphoria would have been a 9-minute track instead of 6 minutes.
Oof.
You know what? I think it was better for this beef overall that Cole got out of this.
Yeah, he should have.
Because Kendrick don't hate Cole.
And the energy that he was putting out, man, Cole, I honestly don't think Cole would have handled that well.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I don't think
that would
have
have.
Well.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have handled it well.
He's mad at Cole. The thing is that Kendrick an angry motherfucker sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who knows what he's willing to say. Um, Ray Rag says, I think Drake could have flipped the assault allegations and said Kendrick did the same thing his mentor, Dr. Dre, did. But I think Drake would have made actual real life problems if he said it. He just was never willing to go where he needed to go. And also, I think he didn't really have solid enough footing to go where he needed to go on Kendrick. Like, at the end of the day, his whole thing is Dave Free fucked your girl and you are an alleged domestic violence abuser. Kendrick's thing is you are a Pedialyte drinker and a groomer, and I gotta hide my little sister from you, and a perpetrator in this very space of hip hop. Euphoria exposed to me this battle was too deep for Drake to be able to win with bars. Like he had to win with something else.
He needed solid. I feel like they both kind of needed some solid evidence of what they were saying. But the thing that Kendrick really locked in on is people have been saying that Drake, might be a Pedialyte drinker.
You didn't first hear it because Kendrick brought it up, right?
Exactly.
The things in this beef that didn't stick when Kendrick threw them at Drake are the things you only heard about when Kendrick brought them up, right? Which is the whole extra child thing, right? Mm-hmm. That ain't sticking past this beef. We're gonna forget about that even happening, because it doesn't stick. But everything else that he went, it's stuff that's been there. It's been background noise about Drake for a long time that people haven't really addressed. And he took that background noise and put it on Front Street in a way that like it makes it something that Drake cannot avoid, while Drake bringing up this stuff that we only heard once Drake brought it up. That's stuff that Kendrick can easily avoid. Like he just basically was like, hey, you heard Mr. Morale and you just started making some shit up.
But this thing I'm talking about,
yeah,
it's been talked about.
And I think also another thing that goes under talked about that exposes how little Drake had on him, his whole red button, his big red button, his big proof was a fucking Instagram comment.
Yeah, man.
And a pretty innocuous one at that. Like,
yeah, you just look at it and you're like, that's not enough.
Are you 12? Are you 12? Are you
like if you go make those kind of allegations against somebody, like we need like real proof.
I would be mad if somebody in college, like if I was in college and somebody tried to break up a relationship like that, like, what are you doing? Like, it's an Instagram comment, you fucking weirdo. Like, what?
Yeah, it don't really hit the way it's supposed to.
And then it makes me think, hey, bro, if you think that means Dave Free is fucking Whitney because he left a heart under her Instagram, what about these 16-year-olds you be leaving hearts under their Instagrams for, man? See, it's not good.
Yeah, you could flip it. You could flip it too many ways. Where it's bad. It's bad.
Like if you think following somebody on Instagram is like an indicator of whether you talk to them or not, you got a lot to answer, Drake. like you got a lot to answer. It's just not good.
Yeah,
like,
it's not good.
And he's lucky nobody is talking about that. Like, we all kind of hand wiped it away. That was his big button. Like that was, nah, man, that's really, it just, he was underprepared and underestimated the task at hand and got obliterated. Like, by the end of it. Just got obliterated. Okay, let's get back to these super chats. K-Dot is saying, I think Drake talks about Millie Bobby Brown on the Heart Part 6 and everybody was like, yo, nobody mentioned her. Why did you bring her up?
I told you that before we even got, I was like, why did he even bring that up? Why even bring it up? We ain't say nothing about that. We didn't say one word about that.
Yeah, all that's going to do is make people wonder why you brought it up if they didn't know. And it's not a good look. It's a horrible look for you. That's a terrible Terrible
The
look
whole
for him.
the entire song is terrible look for him.
Yeah,
Terrible look.
I don't understand what he thought he was doing here. Um, I love that Drake was trying to say that this from Ray Rags. I love that Drake was trying to say that Kendrick and Top Dog had problems in his first response. And Kendrick starts off his this with a Top Dog. Who the fuck they think they playing with?
Drake said a lot of things that got debunked pretty quick.
Yeah, because like
Pretty
TDE was
fast.
clearly in Team Kendrick. Okay.
Like there's a whole bunch, even like in the beginning of Family Matters where he's shouting out like YG and it saying that YG and Chris Brown basically saying they're really gang affiliated and you not and stuff like that. I see that
Also, like trying to
it's a
condemn
lot.
somebody for domestic violence and shouting out Chris Brown at the beginning of a song where you're trying to do that is nuts.
Yeah, it's
It's
nuts.
nuts. It's
It's
nuts.
nuts.
It's just not a good look. But hey, did you hear the one tweet where like, fuck it, at this point, I want somebody to tag in. Like, I want to hear Baby Keem come out and call Drake a weenie.
He said, "Oh, we."
A weenie. I'm like, yo, I had to do Baby Keem like that, man.
He would say that though. He would
He
say
got
that
that
though.
hilarious delivery. I don't even think he being intentional with it. Like,
Oh man.
whew, whew. And I feel bad for Baby Keem because this is about the time where we want to hear from Baby Keem because it's been like a couple years since we heard from Kendrick. Like, all right, let's get a Baby Keem album. Nah, we need Kendrick. Like, Baby Keem, you push back a couple years now, dog. Like, it is what it is. I was just thinking, I was listening to Family Ties. I was like, man, Baby Keem's not bad. Ray Rag says, do you know how much weird people have to think about how clever? Okay, do you know how much of a weirdo people have to think you are to do a kind of clever Whitney Bobby Brown bar using Millie Bobby Brown's name and nobody cares because they think you're really creepy? It's just like, yeah, we get what you was trying to do. We don't understand why you thought that was appropriate. Like,
Yeah, man. I don't know what he was going for, but it didn't land. It just didn't. It didn't land. It didn't land the way that it was supposed to land. That's all. It didn't land the way it was supposed to land.
hey man, all I'm gonna say is if somebody accuses you of that, like vaguely, to respond with a underage child's name is nuts.
Nuts.
Nuts. Nuts. Absolutely insane. It's like if he would have responded to having another child, a daughter. He was like, "What you talk to Veronica? She lying." Like, hey, hold on. Like, what? Who's Veronica? All right. Why did Drake act like Kendrick isn't from Compton, California? He said this on Section 80. Crits Pyrus says ain't nothing to do with F. Yeah, man. He keep messing with people who about shit. And I think that's because Drake in his heart of hearts wants to feel like he is about shit.
Rick Ross said that too.
You know?
Rick
Like, I
Ross said it.
think,
Kendrick said it. They both said it.
hey man, ain't nothing wrong with being black and from the suburbs. There's nothing wrong with it. You know?
Nothing wrong with it
Yeah.
at all.
Look, my neighborhood wasn't great. It wasn't that bad. Like, I didn't grow up in East Cleveland. Like, ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it, dog. You ain't gotta be like Pac. You know? We don't all need to have the hard story. Like, you know, you had some.
You saying you ain't got a lot to kick it?
You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You know? You ain't gotta lie to be a part of it. That ain't ever what this was about. You know?
You ain't got a lot to kick it. That's all.
Man.
That's all I'm saying.
Why you trying to prop your look? Me and Cole, we not from Compton, but we both looked at Kendrick and thought to ourselves, that's somebody whose wife I would not mention. like, nope. No. That is nah. I would want to clarify what the rules are to this engagement that we are going to have to make sure that we keep this in bounds because that man has seen some shit. He
You
done
tell us
talked
all the
about it
time.
in
Tell
all
us
his
all the time.
songs. Yeah. You want to see a dead body? Like it's all there. It's all there. It's all there. I know you listened. That's nuts. That's nuts. Hey Drake, next time you beef with somebody, beef with like the weekend. Like, like be I don't know. Like who can Drake beef with? Like, don't you dare push Future again. Like I know, has Future ever done a diss track? You would know better than me.
Um,
I mean, other than
open,
like his fuck Russell bars, which are always like pretty good. Like,
the opening track of "We Don't Trust You" is as close as we got.
yeah, but Future usually don't go there. But I don't make them. Like, do
Listen,
not
man,
make them.
Future ain't got to say nothing.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, what else can you say about Drake? Now, we said this at the beginning of this. Like,
Future ain't got Future. Like, what you gonna like? What are you really gonna say to Future though? Like, what you gonna say?
Ray Rag says the receipt in the zoomed in out picture is a receipt for jewelry and Meet the Grams. Yeah, I think the Whitney ring is fake because I can believe that Kendrick and like again, I don't even care, but like I can believe that she doesn't have that ring anymore or that like it's like put away somewhere. But like if Drake had it, it would just be weird. And honestly, if you did actually have it and the line you ain't going with is a Tupac, I fucked your bitch line, like, what are we doing? What are we doing here, dog? You know? What would have Pac done? What would Pac have done? Okay.
Not that.
He need to get back on that AI and talk to Pac again about what he should do instead of talking about what Kendrick should do. Also, he dropped that West Coast song, and I think the second he dropped Taylor Made, that's when he called DJ Mustard and said, I need a West Coast banger to come back at Drake. Just wrote his own. Don't pull no casket out of your mouth. Woo. Woo. I just could tell behind going at other people in the middle of the direct response to Kendrick, get rid of that middle part and the song would have been way better. I mean, people do like the middle part of that song. That's just a me thing, right? So yeah. I'm not one to be like, I didn't like it, so it needs to go. Like I could just, if I really cared that much, I could just chop that shit off myself and then play it on repeat if I wanted to. Ray Rag says, I think the problem with Drake is that he didn't respect Kendrick as a worthy competitor in a diss or as an artist, while Kendrick said multiple times he liked back to back. I like that. I like the dancing songs you make.
There you go.
Kendrick hated Drake enough to like it wasn't even a question to underestimate him. He wanted to destroy him. What did he say in Control? I got love for y'all, but I want to destroy y'all. I want to make sure that your core fans ain't never heard of y'all. He was not lying. Like, don't tell no lies on me. Won't tell no truth on you. He sampled himself. Nah, it's nuts. Kendrick also acknowledges that Drake is a musical superstar. He called him a hit maker. That's the one nice thing he said. He's like, he's a hit maker. It kind of an insulting way. Like,
Master manipulator. Master manipulator.
Hit maker. In a dead beat that should never sing.
Hates that man.
You lie. Hey, the one thing on Meet the Grass that does go hard is that part where he's like, you lie. And then they got the refrains going like, ooh. Ooh.
He could make a song. He could make a
that
song.
That motherfucker could put a song together. And then for him to call him a hit maker just to make the biggest hit out of this whole beef is just like another one where it's like, yeah, you a hit maker. I could do that better than you. And he's breaking Drake's records. This is just bad for Drake, man. Getting an Alchemist beat, and then back to backing him with the DJ Mustard beat is insane.
Yo, he got laced with the beats for this. he got the hardest beats he could have possibly got.
Which goes to another point, you know. Who wants to collaborate with me and who wants to collaborate with you in this situation? Like,
it does feel like the entire industry was making a point. It really
Yeah,
does. Like that, the whole industry was making a point here.
it was nasty
Maybe
work.
not Alchemist. Maybe not Alchemist because that Alchemist
That
dude
was
was
an old
old.
beat.
That
Yeah,
was an old
but
beat.
I mean the whole saga, right? Ray Rag says, how the hell can Drake say the person who gave you the info is a clown that said I fed you false info with no proof that he set Kendrick up? Makes no sense to me. Like, how the hell? Yeah, man. Like, if I was beefing with Cove and I fed Cove fake information, I would post that shit as soon as possible to make him look stupid. Like,
Damn, bro,
like
you go
you
you gonna
know,
feed me some fake information? What's going on?
if it came down to that, like, I wouldn't do it now. We not beefing. If it ever came down to that, you know, if all right, let me put it like this: if I was beefing with Jason Whitlock
Okay,
and
bet. Yeah, I'm
and
with you.
I fed Jason Whitlock fake information, oh yeah, I'm riding, I'm riding, and
I'm with you.
and and I'm calling him all kind of things. Like, how I feel about him and certain people in his orbit, I imagine is how Kendrick has felt about Drake for a very long time. Like, but times 10. Like, I don't think I could fathom that hatred. Like, because even then, like, could you make a beat the grams about Jason Whitlock?
No,
It
there's
depends on
nobody
what
I
he
can.
sato me.
There's nobody I can make him beat the grams to. I don't think.
I'll be honest. It depends on if he says something crazy to me. Like,
You gonna lock
if
yourself
he
in the you lock yourself in the studio till you get it done.
if he mentioned some names in my life, I would go there. Yeah, I would go there. Like, not him, can't let that happen. Absolutely not. Hey,
I can respect
shit.
that.
Yeah, and Stephen A. Smith thinks the same thing. Because what Stephen A. Smith say, you know what, you fat. Like,
Hey, Stephen A. becomes a body shamer immediately when people
and at some point, we're going to have to talk about that with Stephen A. But it'd be funny when he do it, though. That's the problem, right?
That's the
Like,
go-to. That's the go-to. I know exactly where I'm going with this.
because he did the same thing. Who did he call like a slovenly fat? Oh, Jamarcus Russell. He did this to Jamarcus Russell too.
Said it to Zion. Said it about Zion too.
Zion. Yeah, like, hey, at one point we're going to have to talk about this. But fortunately for Stephen A., he be funny when he talk about that. Like, he be pointing at the right people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
He know who to say. He know who to say it about. He know who to say it about. You know what I'm saying?
I will say Whitney's brother was supporting Kendrick on Twitter during the whole beef. I don't know if he will support somebody who assaulted his sister. I would hope so.
I mean, you would like to think. You would
But
like to think.
I don't know these people. Like, so,
Also, that I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. So I feel uncomfortable using that as like evidence that it didn't happen. But also it's like the burden of evidence isn't on Whitney or Kendrick Lamar to prove that this didn't happen. The burden is on Drake to prove that like he actually had something more substantial than like a 2014 blogspot post. Okay, like, and some fucking Instagram comments and like his analysis on Whitney's Instagram captions, which we know this man can't read well because he clearly didn't read Mr. Morale. Like,
Oh man, I hate Drake because now we're talking about his comprehension levels.
media literacy. That's what we out here talking about. We talk about media literacy now because of him. Ray Rag says Kendrick Lamar is not like us. Post biggest streaming day in hip hop for U.S. Spotify history, 6.59 million, surpassing Drake and Lil Baby. Girls Want Girls. We let girls want girls. Be that.
Yeah, some
We
records are
should
meant
have
to be
some.
broken.
We have to have some fucking shame. Okay.
Some records are meant to be broken, and that's one of
We
them for
gotta
sure.
have some fucking shame, dog, in this country.
Man, think about this. We're gonna have to explain to future generations how a diss song calling somebody a Pedialyte drinker became the number one song in the country. And we're gonna have to explain how that happened.
and how it surpassed the song where Drake says, "Yeah, I like girls. I'm a lesbian."
Hey, what Kendrick say?
You said
Grew out your
being a beard.
grew out your facial hair because being a beard just fits you better.
Yeah. And then
Woo.
when I see you stand next to Sexy Red, I believe you see two bad bitches. Also, like, when he's talking about like Kendrick beating on his girl, like there's one part where Drake's like, "I don't want to feed your willingness to hit women," and I was like, "Damn, Drake, what you saying? Like, what you saying?
Woo.
Like." Ray Rag says Kendrick did a song calling Drake a PDF file and then explains how Drake uses Atlanta rappers for his own gain while making it very hard for Drake to work with any rapper from Atlanta ever again. Now, that's not just for any rapper in Atlanta. He's pointing out a pattern and he's using Atlanta to point out that pattern, but he's saying, this man will bring you on, put you on for a little bit, steal your shit, and kick you to the side.
Yeah, he's done it. He's
So
done
don't
it. Like
worry. Yeah.
he's done that. So it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes he won't even bring you on because we saw what he did to X. Remember that?
Oof. Oof.
I mean, yeah. When he says the rabbit hole can get further, I believe if there had to be another diss track, we gonna talk about some of the alleged stuff connecting Drake to that X thing, like on multiple different levels. Because people forget Kendrick was kind of an XXX stan. Like,
It's probably a good thing for Kendrick that people forgot about that.
yeah. And it's probably a good thing that nobody likes the Heart Part 6 because I didn't know about that whole thing about him threatening his own music to keep R. Kelly's music on. Now I get the principle behind it, but it's not a good look, right? Like,
Horrible look.
horrible look. It's a principled look, and I think he understood that when he did it, but not a good look at all. Accolade Q, I'm begging you to stop saying could care less. I couldn't care less. I could care less means you care little.
Yeah, it's a grammar thing. It's a grammar
Man,
thing.
that's not how we say that shit. Act. Don't get DJ flatted right now, man. Like, you got to chill on stuff like that. Like, you really got to chill on stuff like that. Like, for real. This is how DJ Vlad ended up getting packed up. Like, you know what we said. You know what we said. I'm not saying he DJ Vlad, but I'm like, hey, bro, you know what we said. Don't do that. Like,
oh man,
you know exactly damn well what I mean. Like, this is 100% not the stream to get mad at me for saying axe instead of axe, right? Like, or whatever it was to pronounce axe, right? I say axe, A-X-E instead of axe. Yeah, this ain't the stream for that, man. Like, this ain't, this is not the time. All right? I beg you.
Ooh. Ooh.
It's all good. You come back, but don't do that. When Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams, I was in total shock with how fast he responded and what he said, that I was shook till 5 a.m. Yeah, that was the intended purpose of that song. That song was basically there to make you not even want to listen to Family Matters. Like, I don't even want to hear this beef shit no more. And then he was like, yes, you do. Because we was all hesitant to click on that Kendrick link when he said it on Sunday. We was like, I don't know, man. This thing is taking a turn. And then I started reading the tweets, and I saw you and my boy Seahawk telling me it's a jam. And then I saw somebody like quote something. I was like, hey, me and my girl saw these tweets. It was like, we need to get the check. Okay. We need to get the check. We need to listen to this shit in the car.
So as the beat started, I was like, "Oh yeah, I like this."
On the beat. Oh.
I was like, "Ooh, I was like, I like this one. I like this one."
I'm not okay. One more says seeing people crit walk to a Kendrick song after Drake shouted out Two Bloods is euphoric.
Oh.
You know, I feel like we gonna see Kendrick and he got the shortcut again. Like he ain't got the braids in no more. This is just OG Kung Fu Kenny that we get. Like,
We gonna see. We gonna see what it look like.
and you know he gonna be hilarious in the view. Like if he does do a music video, like you've seen the This Dick Ain't Free music video. Like this shit's gonna be hilarious.
It's gonna be funny. It's definitely gonna be funny. He gonna be dancing. It's gonna be hilarious.
The one thing I was disappointed in Rick Ross's Champagne Moments video was that he didn't hire a Drake impersonator. And if there was somebody in this beef that could get away with hiring like an impersonator of the person he's beefing with, it would have been Rick Ross. And he missed that moment. I'm like, dog, you got to hire a Drake impersonator. And like, no, Rick Ross, I know how he would have selected that person. But Channing Tatum playing Drake. Like, it'd been nuts. Ray Rag says, I thought it was super funny. Tell me he wouldn't do something like that if he could.
He would though. He would. That's what is funny.
Yeah, he would have found the whitest dude in that phone. Like, and ended up with, okay, so I think it's super funny how the Heart Part 6 ended with Drake saying everything in my shit is facts, while also not providing anything to back up his claims. I'm waiting on you to return the favor. And then the sample said, prove it. Yeah, Drake, you can even prove that you listen to Mr. Morale for research. Like, that's the thing that kills all of it is like, brother, you got caught not doing the required reading. Like,
lying and rap beef is fine. Lying and rap beef is fine as long as I can't pick apart your lies on the timeline.
Yeah. Like, you didn't do the required reading. Like you supposed to you try to sell me this idea that you're like this master manipulator, right? And you got all these pieces. And you're so smart, and you done plotted all this out. Meanwhile, you can't listen to a song for 2 minutes. Nah. I'm sorry, we don't believe you. You need more people. Like, Ray Rag says again, Drake, how the hell is the comeback for the PDF file allegations? I'm too famous. I would have been caught already. I promise you I would be in jail already.
All right, Robert.
Okay. All right.
Why would I hog tie her?
Hog tie?
I don't know how to
hog tie somebody.
Why would I hog tie? That's what it sounded like, bro. That's what I heard. Oh, man. Oh, man.
This is, oh, wow. You know, it's a funny thing, man. We be reacting, like, we just be so happy to hear beef that people just be reacting, like, be happy to hear a response. And I remember my tweet, I was like, I think I'm going to be in the minority on this, but I thought that shit was weak. I was not. Like, the timeline gave me immediate gratification. Like, nah, it was ass. Oh.
You were in the vast majority. Overwhelming majority.
I had no idea how attuned to popular opinion I was at the time. Like,
bro, how many super chats we got left? This Cavs game about to start.
Yeah, we got like 4.
Okay, let's get them.
All right. Drake said, I knew you would go the Epstein route. Why the hell would you know that? No, he said, I expected it.
Why is it you expect? Why?
He flexing it too, like he was like he was so smart in the head of the. I expected you to accuse me of this thing that you never accused me of. Again, he ain't do the required reading. He not even listening to the disses. Like,
that's not what you. Okay.
He like, what? Nobody said you was putting up an island and like making a cabal. Like, damn. Like, what is you? Are you? Like,
you see, now I gotta ask crazy questions. Like, what are you actually doing?
Hey man, why you bring that up? Like,
why you talking about that?
Drake, he told your dad even using you to prove who you is. Even using you to prove who he is a huge favor. He should ask for more paper and more paper, more paper. Ugh. That was a good little part of that. And then he said he thinks you should die. The first thing you talk about is how you don't have a daughter.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And what happened to his house today? Didn't get shot or something like that?
His security got shot. Security guard he had got shot. Had to get rushed to have surgery like immediately.
I highly doubt that has anything to do with this Kendrick thing, but that's just a wild coincidence.
It's a wild coincidence. I mean, you definitely can't rule it out, but I don't think it has anything to do with this.
Does make me think. Was that the Mo?
That's what the timeline was saying.
Hey, 2 a.m. in Compton, drop that.
All right. How many more super chats we got?
We're going to get through them. Go listen to First Person Shooter again. It sounded like J. Cole thought Kendrick was going to be on the song. Hey, man, I'm going to just look at J. Cole like I look at hippies, man. That man's a hippie, and he just be thinking like wishful shit. Like, he got caught being too wishful about stuff, you know? Autistic Kid says Drake might have destroyed DJ Academic's career because of the hiatus he might take.
No, Axe definitely a winner in all of this. 100%. 100% a winner in all of this.
Yeah.
Streams is going crazy.
Yeah.
Streams are going nuts.
Yeah.
He
unfortunately Act wanted this. Yeah.
Yeah, he absolutely wanted this.
Next time. Somebody get Meek Mill.
All right.
One more says, if I'm Drake, I'm asking for Wade's help because I'd have something to say out of pride. I need to defend so I can stand with Kendrick. Well, apparently, him and Wade got some things to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, they squashed that. They squashed that. They squashed that.
Hey, man, I'm telling you right now, if I squashed that with somebody who did that to me, I'm not about to write no raps for you when you getting balled on like this. Nah, dog. You got that? I'm not about to jump into this for you. Nah. We squashed it, but that don't mean I'm about to be out. No, absolutely. Would you?
No,
absolutely not. No. Yeah.
You gotta deal with that one on y'all.
It's just him and Yachty out here trying to think of shit.
He can't give him no swag. He can't give him no swag neither.
Yeah, he's like, you and Yachty ain't gonna write nothing. By the way, you hear the Jumbotron popping reference track with Yachty in it?
Mm-hmm.
I think it sounds better with him in it.
Yachty's weird because like he can make good music. I think it's just his voice. That's why he didn't blow up the way he probably should have. The music doesn't.
He's not as confident as in his delivery. You know? Yeah. I think that's an issue with a lot of like.
As a writer and producer? Yachty is.
Also, like, I think like the delivery is an issue with a lot of men in rap right now. Like, I don't think a lot of dudes know how to deliver their raps. Like, Kendrick puts on great shows because he delivers the fuck out them bars.
He's a performer. He's a performer.
Even like with like that Yeah Glow song. She performing the fuck out that song, dog. Like I'll be in it like, oh, with some shell toe. Okay, like she getting that. And it's like, I think more rappers would stand to like learn from this. Your delivery is half the battle with this. Because also what killed the Heart Part 6? Drake's delivery was not there.
He sounded like he was done with this.
I mean, I don't blame him.
He sounded like I'm waving the white flag here. I'm done.
Yeah, all right. I'm sorry. But he's still throwing shots and is waving off the white flag. So it's like, it's weird. Did you see the clip of Academics bringing his email on stream and it was on DoorDash receipt?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's not going to help. That
That's not
sounds
gonna help.
weird.
That's not gonna help. It's not gonna help. Hey, Ray Rex said, did you see Metro had receipts of emails from UMG saying to take down like that from the Reddit cease and desist on a like that
You like
record?
that record?
Oh,
Oh, what, you
oh
ain't
wait,
like that
you ain't
record?
like that record?
Back to back. I like that record.
Hey man, it was all coming out.
Oh,
Hey, Ray
fuck.
Rex, what?
I just refreshed this. All right, we got to zoom through. All right, Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, and Euphoria both challenging for #1 debut on Billboard. Not Like Us would be first rap song ever to go #1 in the 5-day tracking. Yeah, it's nuts.
That's nuts.
If I'm Kendrick, if Drake say anything else in the next song, he will have to get the audio for the video of Drake unknowingly kissing a 17. No, not unknowingly.
He knew.
He
He was
knew.
aware.
He
He was aware.
seeked it out and found
He was,
out that she was that and said, damn, look at how much ass she got.
yeah, man, it's all bad. It's all bad.
And to the people, like, I've seen some like disgusting defenses of this. I'm just gonna say here, when I was 23, high schoolers were the last thing. Like
Let me just say this real quick. If you ever find yourself
quoting,
needing or feeling the need to post um, age of consent laws on the internet,
yeah.
step away
If you
and
got
just
that
don't do it.
screenshot on your phone, go to therapy.
Yeah,
Like that serious.
you got some soul searching you need to do if you ever
You
feel
got
like
some.
you need to do that.
You got some problems.
Especially on the internet. Why would you share that with people? That's just, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. Well, actually, like stop.
Just stop.
Stop.
Just stop. Don't do it.
Stop.
Don't do it.
Stop.
Don't
You ever
do
hear Josh Johnson stand up?
Mm-mm.
He has a great bit about this. He was like, there's actually like different terms for like different ages that people are attracted to, but you can't explain that without sounding like a complete pervert. Like, so there's a reason why nobody knows that those terms exist. Like,
Yeah, man, I don't need to know.
yeah. He's like, it is a hilarious bit. Ray Rag says, not going to lie, it took me over 10 times hearing that Millie line to realize that he meant Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown bar, but because it was confused why he would mention her name. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with mentioning her name.
Yeah, for what? For what reason?
Yeah. Just to say that you would like to have sexual coitus with his fiance. There were other ways to get there.
Yeah. Much better ways
to get there.
Much better ways.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna hold back from saying what I was about to say. Q, he might not want it with The Weeknd. There has been real life gunshots allegedly from both sides towards each other.
Yeah, it was cash on the weekend side, and then somebody, the security guard with Drake got hit today. I don't think this has anything to do with the Kendrick stuff. I think this might have some stuff to do with them.
Yeah, I don't know what The Weeknd's beef with Drake is, but it seems like
that's a real beef. That's like that it feels like an outside of music beef.
Your shooters making TikToks. Hey, once he's decided he needed to immediately address his shooters in a diss song, I'm like, hey, this ain't about bars. Like, this ain't about bars.
Yeah, he got him and The Weeknd got something personal going on for sure. Like for sure, they got something personal going on.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a healthy dynamic at all. Honestly, Drake, lead the country. Like, just lead the country. Do something else. Like Kendrick said, start with some ayahuasca or something like that. Just go away for a while. Like it's cool. It's bad. It's bad. And like people are rolling on you. And we already seen and like it's just a horrible visual that after all of this stuff has happened, people are gonna like listen to Not Like Us, right? look up at the news at the television screen, and maybe it's on sound, maybe it's on mute, but just imagine the optics. You've heard Not Like Us. You've heard Drake be accused of being a PDF file. And the next thing you see is police tape around his mansion on the news. Like, think about that shit.
The optics are insane.
This is bad. This is so bad.
That's so bad. Oh, that's so bad.
I'm like, hey, dog. Is something about to happen? Like, this.
Hey, Ray Rag said, Alchemist tweeted multiple times about producing the Drake diss, and so did Mustard. Drake's only friend in this was Boy Wonder, which, not gonna lie, they've made wonderful music together.
Hey, I understand why Boy Wonder took that side.
Yeah, Boy Wonder, he picked the side he was supposed to pick.
Mm-hmm. Because he don't make nothing that Kendrick will rap on.
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
No. No. And if he did, Kendrick would be trolling at that point. Ray Rag says Kendrick didn't threaten to take his music off playlists. It was Top Dog who threatened to do it. Still not a good look. I mean, yeah, it was Top Dog, but let's be real who the top dog at Top Dog is. Like, it's Top Dog, but you don't get no traction saying you about to take Schoolboy Q off if you take these dudes off, right? Like, we know whose catalog was used as the main bargaining chip and who was okay with that tactic. So, I mean, like, this is something that Kendrick did. I honestly, like, the more I think about it, it's controversial. I wouldn't have done it, but I understand why he felt like he needed to take that stance, because there are musicians who have literal songs about like wanting to be with underage women that are still on Spotify that also happen to be white, that, you know, they're not coming for them, but they're coming for X, and they're coming from R. Kelly. It don't feel right, right? And it just goes to how hip hop is stigmatized when it goes to these things, and him trying to defend hip hop and black people in a way by doing this. Now, hell of a stance to take, but I can see how he got there.
Yeah, I can see how I got there. And one more just said, Rudy just won Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, yeah, we knew he was going to win. He knew he was going to win.
All right, man, this Cavs game about to start, so real quick, this is 15-minute, this thing. Yeah, I was wrong about Karl. I guess that's all we got to do is say about that, right? Like, I guess I was wrong about Karl. He's balling.
Hey, we gonna revisit that. We're not letting you get away. We're gonna let you get.
Hey, man,
we're gonna let you get away with it right now.
I was so wrong. Right, it's the only time we're gonna talk about it because I'm pro Karl now. I'm a Karl Anthony.
Oh, we're not letting you get away with this one, brother.
What?
We're not letting you get away with this.
You got T on my hate on Karl?
You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna get off easy this time. You gonna get off easy this time, but we'll revisit this.
Your response to my cat hatred's gonna be a screenshot of my "it should have been cat."
Yeah, because that was great. As a matter of fact, did you delete that tweet? I hope you ain't.
Nah, it's still there. It's still there. It's still there. It's still there.
Hey, if they win the title, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Well, I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, man.
They could.
Hey.
The first tweet I'm quoting is that one.
Hey.
They need to see this. I'm like, hey, man, that was crazy.
That's why somebody tell Pusha T I agree tweet. Like,
yeah, like, it should have been Cat. I was like, you're right. It should have been Cat winning this.
Damn.
Ooh, I'm just letting you know what's gonna happen if they win. I'm just letting you know.
Hey, I was here, man. I was here for it too. I was here. I'm like, yeah, watch him carry these bums. And I was about to tweet out jokes about, man, Anthony Edwards. He might be Mike if he bring that sorry motherfucker to the conference finals. Like,
and Cat came out shooting.
Yeah, and he was shooting just how I hate how he shoots, but the shit was going in. I'm just glad this ain't happening versus the Cavs. Like,
Oh, would have been all time bad. All time bad for you.
I'd have looked like Mike Malone. I look like fucking Jamal Murray throwing a heat pack to the court, dog. I'd have been furious. Like,
All time
I'd have been
bad.
I'd been calling Evan Mobley every name under the sun except for God, except for nice. Like I would, I'd have been, you bum, you can't stop him. You are a bust. I'd have been furious, dog.
You know he's good, bro. He's good. You know you can do about it. You know he's good.
Man, he's good, but he ain't never been good at this time of the year.
He is now.
Ant Edwards must be a great leader. Like, yeah, shout out to Ant.
Also, also, hey, look at two bigs working, man. Look at two bigs. It was one big. It was one big last night, but you know what I'm saying. But look at two bigs.
Yeah, but Cole, come on, man. That's one of the best 3-point shooting bigs of all time, and now I can't say that with no irony in it. So
I'm just saying, man.
This. I hate this. I need the Nuggets to win 4 straight.
No, they not winning the series.
They not. It's done.
It's done.
It's done. They were in hell last night.
Couldn't score. Legitimately, could not score.
It was painful. Painful. But yeah, I guess I was wrong about Cat.
You try to speed past this, speed through this at the end of a show. No, we gonna revisit this. We gonna revisit this one, brother. They still got 2 more games. We gonna come back to this. We gonna come back to this all postseason.
Look. If Cat like drops a bomb, like a stanker, I would appreciate that. Like.
We need a 50 ball.
Please, Cat, you've been too serious this playoffs. I need you to start being funny again.
No, we need a 50 ball now. We need a 50 ball.
I like Cat when he making jokes. I don't like Cat when he making shots.
Nah. You can't catch Lamar your way out of this one even. No, sir. We gonna revisit this. Oh man.
Keep making me laugh. Seeing you tap, it won't be no B.
Hey, chat, I'm not gonna lie. We might owe y'all a cast video because we ain't talk about the cast.
All right, it's real quick. Yeah, we ain't even gonna be able to do it justice. I'll be honest. Like, we about to go out of here. We're not about to do the cast justice in 3 minutes. Like, it's
we owe y'all.
And they deserve much more than 3 minutes. So next week we'll give y'all. Hopefully we feel okay about the cast. Like, honestly, it might be best for us not to talk about them. Yeah, like
hopefully it's not an emergency pod situation where we feel the need to like.
We never get to talk about the cast when they do good shit. So I feel bad for this, but blame Kendrick. Like,
yeah, he kind of. But I'm not gonna lie, I do want to say this, and hopefully we can still talk about it because they're still in the series and it's not a big thing. But I thought the way they responded in that game 7 was just a massive step in the right direction for the entire franchise, for everybody involved. Massive step in the right direction. Getting that Knicks monkey off their back from getting knocked out in the first round last year and doing it in the face of a bunch of adversity. They were down by 18 points in that first half and came back and won the game.
That was impressive.
But I don't want to get too deep into it because they deserve for us to actually like really go in depth and really talk about it. And we was laughing and joking about the Kendrick stuff. So I promise we gonna talk about the Cleveland.
You know what we need to do. We know what we need to do.
We need to say bad things.
Brings it up. Yeah, the Cavs need to prove they can win on the road. And you know what, man? For real. Where's Donovan Mitchell on the road? Well, no, he was game 6 on the road.
No.
Game 6.
Game 6. No, game 6 was on the road. Yeah.
Where's Darius Garland on the road?
Where's JB Bickerstaff on the road? He's never won. JB Bickerstaff has never won a postseason game on the road. His whole career as head coach.
Yeah, I just need. I can't even like seriously challenge Donovan at this point. Like he over delivered. Like he straight up over delivered. Hey,
I can challenge Darius Garland. Will you please show up? Please.
Yeah, Darius.
Please show up.
If you want this whole backcourt thing to work, you better shoot your ass off this series.
Man.
You better start making them little money. You out here scared to get fouled and shit. Like, we ain't forgot. We ain't forgot. And Evan Mobley, man, dunk the fucking ball.
Please. Please just dunk the ball.
Please do not let Jason Tatum beat you on the block. Okay. If I see another, who was that man? Cole Anthony situation on the block with you.
You know what pissed me off?
You doing push-ups all summer.
He missed that. And then like two
and then went straight at Wendell Carter
and made it. I'm like, I was like, so you can do it.
The thing that pissed me off about the Cole Anthony thing, Cole, was he had a fucking drop dribble and still couldn't get past. I'm like, he had a drop dribble. He went into his chest and still got moved off the block. I'm like, how does that happen?
I'm like, what are you? I'm like, come on, bro. I know you're stronger than this. I know you are. I know you are. Come on, bro.
But all right, y'all. We're going to get to this Cavs game another day. We're going to talk about the Cavs another day. But appreciate y'all for coming on. Anything else you got to say, Cole?
Man, appreciate y'all. We heard y'all in the comments. Y'all like when we do the longer pods. We heard y'all. You know what I'm saying? We going to stop worrying about how long the pod's going to be and everything like that. We promise.
All right. I'm going to worry about it because I do be having shit to do during the day. I don't know why we act like we both ain't got jobs.
They ain't got to know that, man. They ain't got to know that.
We be tired as a motherfucker on Tuesday night, man. Like,
well, as soon as I saw it off, I'd be like, ooh. Oh, man.
My girl called Tuesday my busy day. But we enjoy doing it. Y'all have a good one, man. Peace.